Fontaine music is very nice. It's a good sign of things to come. I know, like, Yu Ching Pen left. Whoop. Didn't mean to make the cat swim. Is she an actual cat, by the way? I don't know if Lynette's an actual cat or if it's fake. I'm still confused about that whole thing. Like, they look like real ears. But then, like, Lynette and Linny are twins? And one of them is a cat, and one of them is not. Like, I don't know about you, but I have seen some twins in real life. And one of them is not a cat. So, you know, anywho's. Today my YouTube chat is broken, of course. Today we're going to be farming for Lynette, and basically the problem is, right? I talked about this in my previous streams. I realized in my grinding for C6 Arlecchino stuff, which, to be clear, I grinded a heck of a lot. Like, I'm not intending to like grind this hard on my main account. But I think I might start passively streaming more, just doing exploration to try to build up resources on my main account, because like, a problem I have, like, I hope this stream, I'm going to use some fragile resin. My hope this stream is to get Lynette usable, so we're going to probably like test Lynette after farming a little bit for her, and level her up a bit to the point where I can start testing things with some team ideas I have for DPS Lynette, and see if I can maybe make a video this weekend, because I would like to get a DPS Lynette video out before the banner ends, which would, I mean, the timeline for that would be this weekend, right? So, oh, he has a cat in his eyes. But, okay, anywho's. So, I'm not gonna, like, go hard into farming, anyways. Point is, like, look, I can level up Lynette. I can take her to level 80. Or not, because I don't have any frickin' heroes wits. She's already eaten all of my heroes wits that I've gotten this patch, and I've even farmed some ley lines. And my Mora situation, and then to top it all off, hey, look what materials she uses. She uses guides to order, or the order materials, and I guess who else uses order? God frickin' dang it! Like, so, anywho's point is resource issues. And on polearms only, to be clear, this is probably like at least 60 hours of grinding. Not gonna do 60 hours of grinding, but like polearms only, I think started with like 10 million-ish Mora, and somewhere around, I think I had like only like 1,300 to 1,300 heroes wits. I'd have to go double check the first streams, like when I started grinding, but I'm pretty sure. And that was on polearms only with a lot of quest content that I do not like. I don't have the Archon quests available, right, on this account, but I do have a good chunk of quests available, a good chunk of exploration available that I haven't done on this account, right? Like, I haven't done Chen Yu Vale properly, and like, not that I'd be that inclined to do Chen Yu Vale again, but it is worth just like passingly doing, right? But I went from like 10 million Mora, and now I'm at about 20 million Mora. On polearms only, and my heroes wits on polearms only went from like 1,200 to 2,000, right? Like, I have enough, I've farmed enough extra materials to like level 90 2 additional characters, which will never happen on polearms only, because like polearms only is always like high on resources because there's a finite amount of polearm characters, right? Like, I could crown I could triple, well, I don't even think there's enough crowns in the game, but if I had enough crowns, I could triple crown every single character on polearms only and still be fine resource-wise. Wait, right. So, anywho's, Lynette, I've not been able to like make the video yet because resources. That's my point. That's all I'm really saying. So, yeah, there's a hole. What do you mean there's a hole? A hole for what? What? I'm confused. Just got C6 Lynette this patch as well with her Frina, Farazan, and Jean sliced to the first half like butter. Nice. Yeah, if you don't have Farazan relist, so the plan for this stream is to finish leveling up her. So we got to do a little bit of. I can get to level 79. Theoretically, it shouldn't be that hard to get to level 80, right? Oh, I need to get these two. Yay. I think I have enough. I think I have enough fragile resin. If I did my math correctly, I have enough fragile resin to get her final ascension. So the goal is to get her final ascension this stream. And then the goal is to probably level up her talents a little bit, which her talents are a weird situation for as far as main DPS singer, because like I'll probably talk about this in the video, but I mean, I may as well talk about it here. Like, I don't think her normal attack talents are that relevant, even with her C6. Like, I think the most interesting thing to do with her C6 is to use her as an anima driver. Like, use her kind of like a Sucrose, but with more of an, you know, crit DPS playstyle versus Sucrose just with her, you know, EM driver, EM playstyle. I think Sucrose is better, to be clear. Right? She has ranged, and she's a catalyst, has 100% uptime, doesn't have stupid problems like the fact that, you know, like one thing that I really Hoyo versus Dicked over, like main DPS C6 Lynette for, you know, ignoring the multipliers issue, ignoring the Farazan issue, she gets 6 seconds of infusion for after every time you use her skill. It's like, hey, it seems like that's a good amount of infusion uptime since C4 gives her additional skill, right? Except for her skill has a 12-second cooldown. So in a normal rotation, like in many teams, like if you want to like use C6 Lynette, DPS C6 Lynette, and get like 12 seconds of infusion out, your buffs are gonna run out. Or, well, your buffs aren't necessarily gonna run out because the infusion only lasts 6 seconds. But it's more that by the time Lynette gets both of her skills back, it takes 24 seconds, right? And your other characters, right? Say your Farina, for example, gets her burst back. Well, you don't do every 15 seconds. You do, her burst lasts 18 seconds. So, you know, she gets her burst back every 18 seconds, which is like the typical like 20-second rotation, right? So she just arbitrarily extends her own rotations because whoever's decided to dick us over and give her a 12-second skill cooldown. Like, stop, Mahoyo. Stop doing characters that have multiple skill uses that are 12-second cooldowns. That's just dickish. Stop. Just stop it. Okay? So, anyways, she's gonna have arbitrarily a lower like DPS ceiling just because of that functionally, by making it so you have to do longer rotations. You have to wait to get both of her skills back if you want to have 12 seconds of infusion uptime. So, anywho's, is your favorite reaction Overload? No, I really like Overload teams, but the Lynette was not actually being used in this team. To be clear, I swapped Lynette in this team because I was using this team. My two favorite Arlecchino teams are on my main account are this team, and main reason, like, to be clear, Bennett, ignoring circle impact issues, Bennett may very well be the higher DPS option of the team. Duh. Don't care. Because 1, circle impact issues are annoying. 2, I like AI. 3, the thing that makes this team feel satisfying to me is like you're actually like leaning into overload and trying to trigger a bunch of overloads, which I find more engaging personally, trying to maximize actually doing things that are interactions between the characters. And then number 2 is that to maximize Chevrolet's attack buff, this build is giving 40% attack to all teammates. Ideally, you want all the other teammates to care about attack. So the idea is, you know, Chevrolet is functionally giving 120% attack by giving 40% to you, 40% to you, 40% to you, right? She's giving a bunch of attack to all the teammates rather than Bennett, who gives, you know, a similar amount of attack in this team, or a similar amount of attack, but he only gives it to one on-fielder. And that still will be better in some situations, but I really like this team variation. It has some goofiness with like lining up Yai's turrets, like when to reuse them, but you know, so Yai is probably not realistically not the ideal. But I like Yai again, so I'm using it, and it causes a bunch of overloads. It does good damage still, and it feels nice to play. There you go. And then of course there's the C6 Candace Vape Arlecchino. This team is fantastic. Love it a lot. So, anyways. Anyone has a solution when I try to log in? It says too many requests. Please try again later. I mean, try again later. I don't know. I haven't had that issue. Actually, no. I think I had that issue a long time ago, but I think I relaunched the game or something, or waited a little bit, and it was fine. Make sure your password is correct though, and whatever. So, anywho, let's fight the butthole. First like of the stream. Really? Really? No one of all whopping 80 of you? Wow, nobody's watching the stream. I'll be honest, if I'm only gonna get 80 viewers in a stream, it ain't worth farming. It ain't worth streaming things like this. What am I doing? Yes, I got C6 Arlecchino. We'll watch the previous streams. This is not my Polar Malay account. This is my main account. Okay, so I think we got 3 drops there, didn't we? So anyways, plan is to finish Lynette, right? Well, pseudo finish Lynette. We'll get our talents with 666, and then I don't know what I want to use with my remaining materials. If I want to make the video this weekend, I'm only gonna have the ability to probably take 1 talent to level 8. The skill will be the most valuable because it has the highest multiplier in our kit, as far as like seeing a big number on screen. I mean, not necessarily the most valuable for overall team DPS. Burst might be the actual most valuable, and then normal attacks would be the most valuable with like Shanyan Plunge, for example. Which, realistically, by the way, I already tell you, the best DPS Lynette, like main DPS Lynette with C6 Lynette, is going to be just, you know, Farazan, Cloud Retainer, Farina, and Lynette. Like, I'm sorry. It's a side effect of her not having that great of multipliers to even do much with her infusion in the first place. So, I like when I make the DPS Lynette video, I'll probably show like 1 clip of here's Shanyan Plunge. Realistically, this will be the best feeling and most consistent DPS Lynette team if you want a DPS Lynette. But then I'm going to lean more into exploring, and I might mess with some of this on this stream, to be clear. I'll lean more into exploring using her as more of a reaction driver. So the 2 primary ideas, and one interesting thing that I got to test around with too, I don't know, she's a little bit goofy. She can use MH herself, MH being Martial Say Hunters, on her own, because when you use her skill, she regains 25% HP and then she loses 6% HP, I believe, for 4 seconds. So she's HP neutral, basically, with her drain and gain. But that means it takes like 12 seconds, or sorry, 12 seconds. It takes, well, no, it only takes like, no, I was going to say, sorry, 12 seconds. I was going to say 3 seconds for her to get max stacks, but no, and it takes 3 seconds to like first turn, and that means like Martial Say Hunters, it takes a little bit of build up time, and because her infusion like doesn't last that long, like it, you know, probably like 30% of your infusion uptime doesn't have Martial Say stacks. So I don't know, for like reaction driver Lynette, like utilizing her infusion to drive more reactions, I think it genuinely might be better to do a DPS 4-piece VV set rather than, where is she? Am I blind? Rather than 4-piece Martial Say Hunters, even though she does enable herself to use Martial Says without Farina, right? But, you know, I don't have, unfortunately, I don't have, I could do 4-piece DPS VV if I had just a usable timepiece, but, because I have good circlet options, I have good feathers and flowers, but I've never gotten decent attack percent timepiece, or I never capped one that was decent enough. VV is one of those situations where I should probably farm more of it through Strongbox to be able to do said things like DPS, build a 4-piece VV, whether it be on like Lynette or Farazan or whatever, but oh well. Anywho's, this Arlecchino is C0. C0, R0. I'm not grinding the banner. I'm not grinding the banner. I'm grinding for C6 Lynette, but I already have C6 Lynette. You know, there's a different kind of grinding in the game, right? There's grinding, there's farming just for leveling characters. That is, in many ways, harder than grinding Primo Gems. So, no, I'm not grinding to do wishes today. I'm grinding to level up a character that I already got, because I've not been able to. I think we gotta. Do you still have to warp away with Capellis, even though like they? Hello. You still have to, of course you do. I hope they never do this again. It's so annoying. What do I main? I don't really main anyone. I mean, the closest one is probably I, but I still go. I mean, like, I've only recently started using her again on field with Arlecchino, but like I constantly come back to Yai, so I guess Yai is the one I'm closest to maining. Oh, why did I go over here and kill these? I didn't need to do that. I guess I may as well grab these. We need to figure out my situation with having a stroke. The Lumadu spells, is that what they're called? Because that is one of the things I need to farm for. No, what am I doing? Please. Yes, Lumadu spell. Okay, so after we kill this, let's go. I'm gonna have to use the. Okay, if anyone wants to jump and co-op with me after I kill this one, you can try to jump and co-op and help me find all the Lumadu spells. I already before I started the stream, I already went and grabbed the ones that I knew were over here. So I got like the 15 that were there. Hopefully there's 55 left, otherwise I'll have to jump and co-op. But anywho's, yeah, I play Star Rail. I haven't been playing much lately. I'm getting really, really annoyed, by the way, with like what I want to do with Star Rail. I want to just like play Star Rail's story as I feel like, but also still like do the events. But they're being real dicks lately. I'm not gonna let people in the co-op yet. I want to kill this real quick. So you try to request to join again in a second. They're being real dicks lately. Just saying, they're being real dicks lately in Star Rail since 2.0 with forcing the event every single patch. Every patch, they have been forcing the event, requiring clearing the story. And that's really annoying. Like, I just want to like log in and get my resources, and then like I want to finish the story when like the story is like more complete. And to be clear, I think the story is completed this patch. Like the main story, I think. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit additional, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not 100% sure. It just is really annoying me that the last two patches, the only reason I did the story, when I didn't want to do the story, it gave me, nice, thank you. Appreciate that, game. The only reason I even did the story was because the events required it. And like, that's so annoying. Stop it. So anyways, Harmony Trailblazer, though, their kit is interesting. I'm probably not going to build them until we can get their E6, which I think is the next patch, which is also extraordinarily stupid. Because of how significantly Harmony Trailblazer's E6 can change how you can build them. And how much like damage contribution they can do. But, you know, whatever. Harmony Trailblazer is interesting, but it also is evidence of like it's a solution to a problem of their own making, in that they made break and like element relevance as far as what the individual elements in Star Rail do bad. Like, it's just garbage at a baseline. It's really garbage at a baseline in Star Rail, and it kind of always was. And like now Harmony Trailblazer basically fixes the problem. Like, I'm sorry, Harmony Trailblazer's mechanics probably should have been in some form in the base game. It's good that it now exists, but also it's a solution to a problem they created. So I don't know. It's evidence of my supporting my point that I had very early on, or throughout my experience playing Star Rail, that like they goofed up on some of the fundamental design of Star Rail. But whatever. I'm just kind of a hater of Star Rail combat at this point. Hey, there's some. So anyways, if anyone wants to rejoin now and help me find the Lumadu spells, I could bring up the interactive map, but that's boring. Instead, I could have a servant lead me around. No, this isn't polearms only. I didn't put polearms in the title. Didn't put it in the description. Didn't put it in the thumbnail. If it's not in the title, thumbnail, description, it's probably not going to be a polearms only focus stream. I came over here because I think there might be some up here. Oh no, this is rainbow roses. Never mind. Shoot. My brain is conflating the rainbow roses. I know Chevreuse used the same materials, used the Lumadu spells, but I don't. It's been a while. So, anywho's, what's the deal with Harmony MC? What is it? I'm trying to think of like what the closest equivalent to Genshin might be. Like imagine if in Genshin, like, remove elemental reactions from Genshin, right? Remove elemental reactions from Genshin, and instead make every enemy in Genshin have an elemental shield. Every enemy, every single one. right? And make it so that not the only thing, one of the main differentiators on a design level would be that that give relevance to individual elements on your character. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the primary ones that they first introduce you to as a game mechanic. Is as if Genshin, you know, we have the elements, and then every single enemy in the game had all elemental shields, every single one, right? And to be clear, in Starfield you can do damage through the shield. You know, you don't have to break them to be able to. You don't have to break that shield, but it's the closest thing I can think of. Right? So imagine every enemy in the game had an elemental shield, right? And okay, that's what gives elements relevance at a baseline. Okay, but then when you break a shield in Star Rail, right, you get an additional effect, and that's meant to be one of the main differentiators. Thank you. That's meant to be one of the main differentiators of, like, you get different amounts of damage and different that happen in different ways, basically, and different other minor effects like delaying the enemy's action. I don't know why I struggle with that word. Delaying the enemy's action, right? For imaginary break, if I recall, or no, was that quantum? I don't. It doesn't matter. And then, right. So okay, that seems good and all, but like the amount of like attacks you have to do to like break enemy shields in Star Rail is terrible. Like, it's actually dumb. And Harmony Trailblazer basically makes it so like it's actually relevant to focus into that aspect, that shield breaking aspect of the game, which they like introduce to you as like a core game mechanic that seems like it should be important at a baseline. Don't know exactly where they I mean, the idea was like someone else could use the interactive map for me, so I didn't have to, like, you know, constantly go alt tab out, stand still. Okay, it doesn't look like they're over here, but I guess I will. So can you play any song in the new instrument? Can I play any song in the new instrument? No, I guarantee you I cannot. So yeah, anyways, Harmony main character, whatever, like, they're really good. I'm glad they exist. They make Star Rail's combat more interesting again, but also they shouldn't have had to. Okay, I already went over there, by the way. Okay, well, I guess I will break up the interactive map. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's good. It's interesting. It makes me actually interested in doing some combat shenanigans in Star Rail again. And I don't know. I worry that it's gonna have that Harmony Trailblazer is gonna have the problem that on a if you want team damage to be competitive. Oh look, if you want team damage to be competitive still, you probably want Ruin Me, which is a 5-star, which is a bit rough. But I haven't actually done the calcs or anything, so, you know, go check other people's content if you actually need a real take on that. I don't know. It's cool that they exist. It's a cool introduction to a mechanic, but that actually makes, like, it genuinely makes breaking shields, breaking toughness bars in Star Rail relevant, but is dumb that it was necessary to do that. What should I be? Okay, whatever. Just bring up the interactive map. Give me a second. Genshin map sample. What do I think of Robin Kit? Power creep. I'll be honest. That's what I think of Robin's Kit. Is power creep. How many Lumadale spells are there? There's only 31? I hope the frick that's like 31 plants and not 31 total. If it's only 31 plants. Oh, yeah, okay. Why? Okay, can this go away? This stupid website. I should figure out a different Genshin map website, because this stupid website has a UI element like covering the right half of my screen. If I don't like full screen this map window, I only have like 1 frickin' third of the actual screen showing map. It's really dumb. So I'm just gonna delete the element. It doesn't even work. Okay, because they literally, it's just a permanent fixture. Okay, good job, this website. Okay. So, yeah, and I did like 50 polls on Robin's banner because I wanted Zhu Yi constellations. And I got E5, which kind of pisses me off. I'm just gonna, I'm at like 60 pity now though, so I'm not gonna wish anymore. I don't want Robin. So, anywho's, she's the first Harmony I don't want. I dislike her kit. It's strong. I just think she's incredibly boring. And probably just power creep. So, anywho's, you got C6 Arlecchino before C6 Lynette. I mean, different accounts, but I know I got C6 Lynette technically before C6 Arlecchino. I'm not farming to get C6 Lynette. I'm farming up C6 Lynette. So, anywho's, where is over here? Oh, they're there. Yes, this is one of the spots. I think there is one here. Thank you. Oh, I guess you're probably listening. I don't need to type thank you in chat. I think according to this, it's like right here, right? Yes. Oh, hello. Yoink. Okay. And then there is more a little bit south here in the bones of a god. White tassels, chest only, indeed. You're pulling for Robin only because I need a Harmony unit other than Brownie. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying she's not a valuable one to pull. Like, one problem, by the way, like, my friend just, like, considers himself a different kind of player. And he is. Like, he doesn't care about, like, optimizing combat. He just, like, kind of pulls for the characters he likes. But, like, he doesn't even pull for characters that are, like, good for, like, helping him use the characters he likes. Generally speaking. So like he doesn't have Bronya, he hasn't leveled Ting Yun, he hasn't pulled for any of the limited Harmony characters. And how much of the content do you think he can clear? So if you know anything about Star Rail, you know Harmony characters are pretty strong. And they kind of have to be on a design level to be clear. I'm not just trying to say like they shouldn't be strong, but like yeah, I think my friend has a perception that the reason his characters don't do damage is because he doesn't like farm as good of like artifacts for his characters in Star Rail, but the actual reason is because he doesn't build supports. So, anyways, which is funny. Yeah, Arlecchino C6 was done last stream on Tuesday. Let's see what the next one is. Let's go over here. But anywho's, so yeah, I don't like. Point is, I'm kind of burnt out on Star Rail. I'm still logging in and play, and I'll still log in and probably just have an auto farm. Like the game manages to keep its hold on like having me log in because I can literally just open it on my phone and have it auto play a thing to farm for like 5-10 minutes. Like glance at my phone, oh, press the button again to have it continue auto farming, and that's it. I mean, that's my Star Rail experience on most days, except for when I want to do the story. But also the story is kind of like, I don't know. I haven't been jiving that much with the Tenacani story. The Firefly stuff was interesting, but then Firefly has been deleted from the story as far as interaction with the main character goes, other than the surprise at the end. There's supposed to be another one over here somewhere I'm looking for. There it is. Okay. Okay, yeah, it must have been, there has to be, yeah, there's more than 31. Okay, good. There's 31 plants. Let's see, where's the next one? That's obvious. Okay. There's not that many more plants actually, but I think. Wait, is that some? Oh, that's some. There's a bunch right there. Let's go here. So Robin is a need. I mean, it depends what you have. Like, I can tell you, like, on my account, I have Sparkle, I have Bronya, I have Ting Yun, I have heavily invested in all these characters, like, hello. Where's your plants? I need your plants. Leave me alone. I just want your Lumiduces. Like, if I had gotten an early Robin, I would have been like, okay, that's fine. I can do something with her. But Okay, where? What? I swear to you, it said there was Lumidu spells here. I gotta go look at the map. What? What?
Emerge.
I'm like 90% sure it said there's things there. What team we're gonna build for C6 Lynette? I'll go over that I think once I actually get our level. Yeah, it says there's like 3 here. Are they underground or something? Oh my god. Okay. Wait. Am I looking at the wrong spot? Oh frick, I'm looking at the wrong spot. It's over here. I'm dumb, it's fine. It's literally right here. Okay. We're fine. My brain's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. What are we at? I want to get this done because this is just the annoying part, right? And of course, all these are in areas that I've already explored in Fontaine too, so not even getting other farming done at the same time. Okay. There, we only need, you know, like 5 more plants. There is one right over by this waypoint. Not sure what player 2 is doing. Why don't you get the rainbow flowers? I don't know, because I don't need them. Because my brain was looking for one thing and one thing only, and it was Lumideus. That's why. Yoink. Okay. And there's one over here. I guess I may as well get that. It's just a glide down. Pre-farm, bro. What do you mean pre-farm? I wasn't gonna pre-farm for a 4-star. I'm sorry. Also, I knew I wasn't gonna pre-farm for a 4-star that I didn't know if I was going to get C6 of. And that was the requirement for it being relevant to actually level her at all. For me. Not saying it's not, there's no reason to level Lynette without C6. Where's the flowers here? Where? They're definitely on the map. I'm confident this is the right spot this time. There they are. I'm blind. Alright, good. And we got a chest, which might give me a hero's wit, which is a good thing. And I need it. I'm swimming.
Right now. Emerge.
Yoink. Hey, look at that. Hero's wit. Genuinely kind of need that. Alright. And... Alright, do you always stream around this time? Yes, I started streaming about 45 minutes later than I normally intend to. But, yes. Normally around this time-ish. Okay, what other ones on the map? Is there enough on the map still?
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised.
I gotta find...
I can't
Oh, there's
promise
one...
you'll
Oh,
like
okay, I
this.
suppose that makes sense. There's one in Lumideus Harbor. There's Lumideus in the Lumideus. So, anywho's, let's finish this quick. It's a Navia. It says it's in, like, the center here. Which, I'll be honest, doesn't make that much sense. Unless it's down, I suppose. There's an Oculus. Where? Wait, what? It just disappeared. It's up? Okay. I feel like Lumideus Harbor should have more than one Lumideus plant, by the way. But it says there's only one. Also, I don't know where it is. I thought it'd be in the grass. I don't see it. Why? It's so annoying. Was C6 Arlecchino worth it? No. I established that during the C6 Arlecchino streams. It obviously was not worth it. But it's fun. And it was fun doing the streams for it. And it actually got me to enjoy, or I'd say it got me to enjoy. I enjoyed exploration for once. Didn't feel like I was losing my mind like it was when I doing a hotel farming, which is a good thing. So, no, C6 was never worth it. But it's fun, and if you get at a hyper investment point where, you know, you just like Polem's only just at a point where like again, the reason it is risky to do it is because why? Okay, whatever. Frick this one. Let's go over here. No, here. The reason is dumb, right? Is because on polearms only, right? There's only polearm characters that we can declare. Okay, that makes things a lot easier as far as justifying hyperinvestment, such as going for a C6. The only reason I really did it was just a sequence of dumb decisions. A lot of them related to just be like, hey, why not? Okay, I need to do those. Why not make more content, right? That's why this is the wrong spot. I need to go over here. And that was it, right? But on a ignoring the content aspect level, when you get to like a hyper investment level and you have very specific things you want, and like ultimately no individual thing you pull for on an account is going to really make the difference in like whether you can clear the content in the game, then like just do whatever is fun to you, right? And you should probably do whatever is fun to you in general, but you know, take a little bit of an approach of, hey, okay, where the frick? Why are these so annoying? There's supposed to be one here. Oh wait, it's down here, I think. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh, there's two. Wow, what the heck? Okay. Thank you.
With which to commemorate this occasion.
So, anywho's, like, no, it wasn't worth it on how much resources it cost for, of course, how much resources it cost for, you know, what was gained, right? But it was, there's one right there. It's just a factor of like, okay, if oh, what the, no, I didn't walk into that. If there is a polearm 5-star that releases, you know, in 5.0, I think is the main example I was using before. I have by deciding to go for seasons, I like, you know, I have 100% removed any chance of basically going for their weapon or their constellations, right? And it's very possible that a polearm 5-star being released in version 5.0 and their early constellations might be more relevant than the late constellations, right? Than going for C3, C4, C5 Arlecchino were, right? That's 3 5-stars. Like when you're going for constellations, you're sacrificing going for new characters, right? Or their constellations or their weapon. And depending on what the character ends up being, it might have been very much more relevant to do that, right? If a new Dendro 5-star polearm was released and they apply a meaningful amount of off-field Dendro or something, probably would have been better to go for to focus on them, right? But I don't know what they are, right? And that's why it's just smarter to not do it. And even in the context of like we were talking about, like if there's no polearm 5-star until version 5.2, version 5.3, 5.4, it still probably would have made more sense to save resources to be able to try to guarantee getting some constellations, some early constellations on a 5-star in version 5.0 or whatever. Or heck, honestly, it would have been more valuable than going for Season Star Arlecchino polearms. It would have been more valuable to get extra copies of Staff of Scarlet Sands with those wishes that I spent. Like it was not worth it. I think there was a number of things that could be more worthwhile, but I did it because it was fun in the moment. And like I didn't spend real money to get C6. I grinded to C6, which made it feel much more earned. Yes, I spent money for that initial video, but I didn't spend money with the intention of ending up with C6. I just got lucky and made dumb decisions along the way. So, anywho's. Let's complete this quick, and then we gotta go finish farming. I might let people into co-op after... Where's the next block? God dang it. Wait, what? Where's the Numa block? I like how... you probably couldn't hear very well on the stream, but just like hearing Navia's gunshot echo in the distance is fantastic. I love it. Frick you, game. Why? I don't want to have to switch to a character to be able to deal with this. Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you. Oh wait, no, you had the... Oh wait, no, okay, there we go. Another one. Wait, no, that is the wrong one. Okay, yeah, I know, I do need the other type. Why? What? Like, we're... Of course. I like how... By the way, stupid... Yeah, there we go. One stupid thing with Arlecchino is definitely the fact that she just keeps her infusion constantly. Why? Where'd it go? I grabbed it. She just keeps her infusion constantly, right? So, like, she's actually a lot worse at, like, breaking boxes. So, I have noticed it a weirdly high number of times, like, particularly when doing the grind, where it's just like, well, I gotta switch to another character just to break the frickin' boxes, because her pyro damage does not break boxes immediately. Instead, they have to burn, and you have to wait 5 seconds. Anywho's, so, I think we're good with the Lumiduces, by the way. What's your name? GZ150. Let me double check here quick. You know, one thing I didn't check. I hope I don't have to farm any more of these. I know I have a good chunk of them right there, but the question is how many of the lower tier ones do I have? Not many of the middle tier ones. Uh-oh. Okay, oh, we're fine. Okay, good, we're fine. I have 833, the baseline. Okay. I'm gonna close this stupid interactive map. Okay. Whoops, and I just opened it up again. I've been shot! Okay. There we go. Back to farming. GZ, I guess if you want to help me farm this one, you can. And then I'm going to kick you out. No. Well, actually, yeah, I probably will, because realistically, it's going to take longer to fight this thing in co-op than it is on my own. Maybe I'll let you guys in the co-op later, but I think probably not, realistically. Because I think it's just going to be faster to explore without you. No offense. Alright. Or they're just not going to show up here. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever, I'm just going to fight it. Because I want to start the respawn timer. We still got to fight it like 6 more times, so, you know. Shoot. I don't know why I did that. I mean, I wanted to heal, but that was a dumb moment to do that at. Right, but anyways. You have almost max gears? Have you not leveled up any character that use gears? Or just for some reason really like killing the robots? Ow, ow. No. Yay, hey, achievement, thank you. That's why I kept you here. I love this boss, so they put it in Abyss. Yeah, I don't get why they're so obsessed. Oh, bye. Thank you for your help. Appreciate it. I don't get why they're so obsessed with this boss in Abyss. It's even in the new Abyss content, by the way. In the next version. Oops. What did we get for drops? Did it exit co-op automatically? I don't know if it does. No, it does not. Is there any reason to ever pull on standard banner? I mean, if you're close to pity, and there's a high chance that like you can actually have, there is patterns of predictability in standard banner. Like, for example, it tends to, without getting into the details too much, standard banner tends to alternate the 5 stars you get between between weapons and 5-star weapons and 5-star characters. It does the same thing for 4 stars. So if you like see like the pattern of the 4 stars, for example, right? This is not like a consistent thing, but in particular, I think the reason this happens is because there's a system in place tracking like how many wishes it's been since you got a 4-star weapon or a 5-star weapon. Same thing with characters. And if you've gone X amount of wishes without getting a 5-star weapon or a 5-star character or a 4-star weapon or 4-star character, it tends to give you those. So the end result is that it tends to alternate, right? So 4-star character, and then I think, yeah, I got a 4-star character, but then weapon, and then character, right? And then there's Skyward Harp there, and then weapon, and then character, and then weapon, and then character, and then weapon, and then character, right? So you see the tendency, right? And then you saw I got Skyward Harp recently, Tignari then before that, so that's, you know, character, or that was weapon, then character for 5 stars, right? There's a tendency to alternate. It's not a guarantee, but there's a tendency to alternate. And with that factor in mind, particularly for 5 stars, And if your account has like a particular like right, if there's of the standard 5 stars, right, you know, the most relevant ones would be Kaching. Diluc is okay, you know. Kaching, Jean is a lot more relevant now that Farina exists. Dia is not that relevant, but she has some interesting utility, and I think, you know, that is worth considering. Like the Nuviolette Hyperbloom with Dia as an interruption resist unit, and Instructor's unit, and can also enable Nuviolette to get some vapes on occasion. It genuinely is a compelling option. I think it only really works for enabling him to vape, though, if you have Nahida, to be clear. But anyways, Tignari is obviously very strong, right? Like of standard 5 stars. So there's enough like relevant standard 5-star characters, and there are some relevant standard 5-star weapons that if you know, right? If you're like 5 wishes away, actually not even 5 wishes away. The circumstance that I have spent Primo Gems on standard banner is usually when I'm at pity and I need to do single pulls, like, and I just do like a couple single pulls to get to the 5-star, right? Which sometimes, though, that might mean you're doing a 10 pull. You're doing like 10 single pulls, and that's not worth it. So no, I do not recommend it, ever spending Primo Gems on standard banner. But there are times where I have decided to, and was fine with the risk of it, because I was already at pity, and I wanted to see what I would get, or what I could get could be something useful. Like, for example, being that with that alternating pattern in mind, I still would love all the Dia constellations in the world. I have C1 Dia now, which is nice, but I would also love C2 Dia. I would love C2 Dia. So when I start getting close to pity again, like when I get to pity again, which I'm at, what am I at? Yeah, I'm at like 25 pity, so that'll be a while. But when I get to pity again in standard banner, if I might do a couple single pulls with Primo Gems or whatever, right? Just to see what it is, because of impatience. But that's what it is. It's just impatience. So like I don't recommend it. But you know, if you can afford a couple pulls on it, I don't think it's like that much of a waste, right? Ultimately. So anyway, does this already respawn? Does this one even tell if it respawns? I don't know. It probably did, because I think I rambled enough. Anywho's. You've only seemed to have gotten 5-star weapons using the standard pulls. Yeah, I mean, if you've gotten, so like, if you've done like 150 pulls on standard banner, and both of them were 5-star weapons, both the 5 stars you got were 5-star weapons, the next 5-star you should see should actually happen around 200, because there's a system actually in place where I think around 220 wishes. If you go 220 wishes without getting like a 5-star character or 5-star weapon on standard banner, it will give you a 5-star character or a 5-star weapon. So that means when you get to like the 200-ish range, you should see a 5-star character from standard banner.
Right here. Emerge.
If I recall correctly. Don't quote me on it. I could be misremembering. I haven't looked into standard banner in a while. Again, don't think it's worth spending primos to get to that 200, right, or anything, but it might be worth spending a couple single pulls to see what the 5-star is if you're impatient and you have a surplus of primo gems, right? Like, if you saw like my farming, right, if you have content, for example, undone in the game, you know, you have the fountain, right? There's so many like little incidental sources of getting a couple standard wishes or whatever, or limited wishes or primo gems that like, I think it's relatively inconsequential if you spend 2, 3, 4 wishes on standard banner on rare occasions, right? But don't spend a lot on it. Have you ever bought the battle pass? Yeah. I mean, if you're going to spend money in the game, the things that are worth it are generally speaking Welkins and battle pass. But just keep in mind that the main reason they exist and they feel like they give you a lot of value for money is they're meant to like break that barrier, because like what their goal is to break that barrier of like once you start spending money, the chance that you go and spend money in here is a heck of a lot higher, right? Someone that refuses to buy Welkins and Battle Pass is never going to touch these. but the people that but as soon as like people are like they break that barrier, you're willing to spend some amount of money on the game, suddenly there's a psychological shift that happens, and wherein you're just like, man, I lost that 50-50. I make enough money. I enjoyed this game. F it. I'm gonna do $100 top up. That is exactly their goal. So if you want to stay a stubborn free-to-play player to resist their psychological manipulation tactics, I'd say that's a pretty cool thing to do. But if you have the ability to hold yourself to not spending additional money in the game, the most valuable thing to spend, but still spending a realistic amount of, like, not egregious amount of money in the game, I think buying Battle Pass every patch and buying Welkins is the monthly Welkin is perfectly acceptable. For how consistently this game gets updates and has content added, I think spending that 10-ish, I think it comes out to like $12 a month. If you $12 US in where I live, might be different for your currency, right? But $12 US a month is what the functional average is if you buy just Welkins and Battle Pass, and I think that's perfectly fine for the content that they add in the game on a regular basis. So, and the main thing that's valuable from the Battle Pass from buying it, by the way, is it's not just the weapon. I think people focus on the weapons too much. It's all the other resources. I don't buy the Battle Pass on polearms only, generally speaking, anymore, because it just doesn't, I don't need any of the other resources. I need none of them. The only thing that relevant is like technically the fragile resin, but that's that's not that relevant. So the weapon is a nice bonus for giving you some good, decent crit stat stick weapons, right? Not all of them are that amazing, but most of them are pretty decent, and that's nice. It's a nice bonus that's trying to incentivize you to get the Battle Pass. The real reason to get it is if you can use the resources to be able to level up more characters. Buying a couple Battle Passes will genuinely give you a lot more resources to level up more characters. And without having, when you're a completely free-to-play player, you're just going to not be able to level up as many characters, or you're going to run into needing to spend resin to farm Heroes Wits or Mora or whatever to be able to level up your characters that you want to use, which also just means it functionally takes more time, right? So, they've really structured this game as a free-to-play player on all the resources level to really make you really make you feel like you never have enough resources. And as soon as you buy the Battle Pass, you basically are like, wow, I now have enough resources to basically level characters that I want to level, generally speaking. If you want to level every single character in the game, it's not going to be enough. But if you have a realistic expectations of just leveling the characters that seem interesting and that you acquire at the pace that the game gives them to you at, Anywho's. I think I need to warp away. You buy Battle Pass with a name card. Okay, don't go off of what Sylveon says. Sylveon is the worst example. Don't buy that Battle Pass with a freaking name card. Look, if you want to, I guess it's fine. It's your freaking money. But also, and the structure of any free-to-play game, by the way, is to put systems in the game to try to make people want to spend money. It's just how it works. Why am I getting interrupted? Yoink. Give me the goods. 2 again. Okay, considering how lucky I got with the initial ones, it's fine, but also, please, for the love of everything, at least in one of the next 3 runs, give me 3. If I have to use it, right, because I'll have enough fragiles, right? That's not the problem. But I don't want to have to use more than these 2 fragile res, right? If it gives me 2 every single time for the next couple runs, then where's the net? Right? If it gives me 2 every single time for the next couple runs, then I have to use another freaking fragile resin just to, no, please don't, okay? Please don't, game. That's all. That's all I request. Hoyo's smart for making you pay. Oh, wait, no, that was already there. I think Hoyoverse will be nice enough to put Chevy with Chlorant. I don't know. She doesn't have very good synergy with Chlorine, or Chlorine doesn't have very good synergy with like Overload. So I don't know. I think it's likely just based on timing that they will do so, but I think Hoyoverse themselves is being a bit stupid with Chlorine's kit in that like it'll probably be functional to do Chlorine and Shivers together, and like since I'm likely gonna end up with Chlorine, assuming Sethis is on her banner, I'm likely gonna end up with Chlorine anyways. Oh, by the way, you know what? Actually, finish my thought before I rant. I will probably be trying Chlorine with Shivers, and like the only video I have planned, assuming I get Chlorine, is I'm gonna level her up to level 80 and test. All right, how good is Chlorine without Dendro? And one of the main teams I will test is probably Shivers teams, and the answer is she'll probably be fine. But it'll probably be even more dependent on the other teammates you pair with her in Shivers team, and it'll probably be a lot worse than like Arlecchino Overload with Shivers, is my guess. But we'll see. But you know what annoys me? Like I'm unironically, I was considering making a what does X amount of dollars get you on Kave's banner video. And it wasn't going to be 300 to be clear, because I only need like wait, what do I have for Kave? I do want Caesar's Kave. I want to see how much of a difference it makes to his like weird bloom playstyle. I don't think it'd be that good to be clear. I don't think it's like worth going for, but I could justify it on like making another video level. And unironically, I was really hoping he was gonna wind up on Baiju's banner, cause one, like he released with Baiju. Baiju is on his 3rd freaking banner next week, and Kave has had only his original run that released with Baiju. What the f***? Like why? Like why? Like it's what is it? Beto, Farazan, and Layla, I think. Like to be clear, Farazan makes sense. It would have been a dick move not to put Farazan on the banner with Wanderer, right? Like because he's so freaking reliant on Farazan. But like Beto and Layla, like to be clear, it might have been a while since Beto and Layla reran. But like, what about Kave? Like it's been freaking what? So, anyways, I was genuinely considering that because one, using my guarantee for Baiju would have been not great. Not great, like it's not like C1 Baiju is very good, but it's also like no one would care that I have Baiju constellations, right? For my videos, and C1 would reduce his energy needs, which is kind of whatever. But more importantly, it would improve his Dendro application slightly. And then C2, if I somehow got that, and I would have considered going to Pity again for C2. And honestly, I still kind of am, but like, I don't know. Like I'll probably do like if I get an early C1 with my guarantee, then I'll consider going for C2. And the logic is like I've become pretty frustrated lately with the fact that I can't turn off C2 Nahida. Like the main like Burgeon Arlecchino team that's probably my favorite one was Arlecchino on 4-piece MH with Staff of Homa, with Hybrid Raiden, right? And then Nahida and Elan, not Farina. And that team is really, really fun. The problem is that C2 Nahida in that team is significantly buffing Arlecchino's damage, is significantly buffing the Bloom damage, is significantly buffing Raiden's damage, and is buffing Nahida's own damage, and is buffing Elan's damage. And this even with like my Elan significantly powered down. So it's like, the reason I didn't include that in the Virgin Arlecchino team, even though it's like one of my favorite variations, it's like impossible for me to evaluate that because of the C2 Nahida. And I really wish I could turn it off. It's actually the most egregious example I realized where like it makes such a big difference. It's like impossible, and like it's a problem of like why do I need, like in hindsight, right? This was dumb. I should not have gone for C2 Nahida. The reason I went for C2 Nahida was because I got an early C1 at like 40 pity with a 50-50 win. Or no, it wasn't a 50-50 win. It was a double 5-star pull with 2 earlies back to back. It was Chi-Chi into C1 Nahida. So it was functionally a 50-50 win because the Chi-Chi was nothing. And then it took 2 more pities to get... I regret. So like, Nahida is like the gulf. There's like a massive gulf between like supportive utility of Nahida and other Dendros. Right. If we look at the other Dendro units in the game, like Baiju is a supported Dendro unit that applies less Dendro than like every other Dendro unit. It's a slight exaggeration. I think he does apply more Dendro than Kave, and he does it off field. But like, he applies less Dendro than Dendro Traveler, right? Like, why? And there's some things about him like I could be fine with that if like his normal attacks had range, for example, right? If I could at least apply Dendro at standard ICD rates from range with him, like it didn't feel like absolute butt using him as an on-field Dendro driver, then I'd be fine with like his application, to be honest. But he doesn't. He has no range. They very, very purposely did that because they didn't want him to do that. Like, why? Like, realistically, Yao Yao, as far as like, it's the only one that competes for Dendro application, specifically in AoE scenarios. But she has to be on-fielded for that again, which is like they just really didn't. They really don't want it. At least during the 3.0 patches, we haven't gotten any Dendro units since the 3.0 patches. They really wanted only Nahida to be relevant, as like they wanted Nahida to be the Dendro support. Like there is a massive gulf between not so many Dendro teams and having Nahida or not having Nahida. And why then do I need to increase that gulf even further in some teams? And to be clear, in some teams this does not make as much of a difference as people expect, because you need the Electro, right? And then it depends on how many units actually care about that defense reduction, like for their crit-based damage. So in the context of that Arlecchino, Nahida, Raiden, Yu'lon team, all of them get meaningful value from the defense shred. And then the bloom damage buff isn't doing nothing either. But like in the example of like me using C2 Nahida for the Kave video, where I didn't have Electro with Kave, that the C2 Nahida was not doing that much. Like it was at best probably realistically a 5% team DPS upgrade because of the bloom damage increase, but it wasn't that meaningful, right? Point is like, what is the point of increasing the gulf between, and there's a reason she has no 4-piece deep width. That's part of me trying to balance C2 Nahida. This is the closest thing I can do to turning off C2 Nahida, turn off Deepwood. Like, it's just kind of frustrating, right? Because I want other Dendro units that can have Dendro teams before, like, feel like the reactions happening are at least similar, but they just aren't. And that's because we don't have anyone else that applies a similar amount of Dendro. And my general feeling was like, okay, C1 Baiju slightly increases the Dendro application. C2 Baiju also slightly increases its Dendro application, and it happens automatically. The question is, would that let me just say Nahida and never use her, basically? Like, even if I don't need the healing, just always use Baiju. Probably not, but it might bridge the, like, C2 Baiju might be the difference between bridging the gap between Nahida and Baiju. And then, like, the fact, like, there's nothing that can be done about the C2 Nahida issue. Like, I don't know, like, I really regret the C2 Nahida, because it, like, the gap between Nahida and the other Dendros didn't need to be made wider. And that's functionally what it did. Yeah, Baiju absolutely feels like a standard character. Is Baiju worth it for the healing? The shield? Not the shield. The shield is just like minor interruption resistance. It's not nothing. It's there. It can prevent you from being whacked to the side or something. The main reason to get Baiju is for Farina, realistically. If you don't have Farina, I don't know why you would really care that much about Baiju. Like, the reason I got him when he originally released is because, like, I purposely waited until his release to to like I didn't level up Yao Yao. Thank you for giving me 3. I didn't level up Yao Yao on purpose because I knew Baiju was coming, and he was a 5-star healer. I'm like, surely Baiju is better than Yao Yao, right? Like, wow, the 4-star free Dendro healer they released during the Lantern Red event is so good. Surely the 5-star healer is gonna be really good, right? So why spend the resources on the 4-star one? That was my logic. And to be clear, I do think Baiju is better than Yao Yao in the context of Furina's existence, because Yao Yao is a really good healer for Furina, but Yao Yao has the downside of like, needing to have spend a little bit of field time at least to be able to heal up the team, and that can make some rotations arbitrarily longer, just to be able to heal up the team with Furina, right? And that's not ideal. So Baiju can functionally be a DPS increase in that regard, but like as far as Dendro application goes, like which is what's the most important thing for Dendro units, it frustrates me. I don't understand. I do not understand why they just went so hard and wanted him not to be very good. And realistically, it's because they knew Furina was going to be coming out in like half a year later, right? So they knew that his no-nonsense team-wide healing aspect from off-field and his synergy with Furina in the future is what justified it. And it does, to a degree, but not if you don't have Furina, and not if you're using him without Furina. So like it really decreases his relevance, and I don't know. He's a good character. I actually use him a lot, to be clear, because I like healers a lot more than shielders personally, and he is still Dendro. So like I can there's times like where I will just shove him into a team to just enable aggravate happening at all, right? Like for example, if I want to take a common team, I will do an Abyss. Is like, all right, I want to do Yai. Well, Yai's Electro, and guess what? Yai's Electro. You know who synergizes with doing Electro and doing Electro reactions? Guess what? It's the almighty. Where is she? Is she not favorited? Oh, she's in the team. It's the almighty Fish. I'm dumb. Like Yai and you're doing Electro reactions. Hey, Yai and Fischl, great teammates. They both really like Dendro, so like, okay, I actually like using Tighnari a lot. Okay, who do I do the last slot then if I'm doing Yai, Fischl, Tighnari? Generally speaking, it's Baiju. Why? Just because he's a kind of no-nonsense, like, he keeps the team alive. He buffs, aggravate, like, the damage from Tighnari, Yai, and Fischl a little bit, not, like, crazily, but he does something, and he keeps the team alive, right? And that's it. But then I also, there's circumstances where I won't use Tighnari with Yai, Fischl, and I can do Yai, Fischl, Baiju, and Furina, right? Right? I can do Quick Bloom Yai that way. Is that better than doing Nahida Quick Bloom with Yelan? Not necessarily, but you know, it's a good option. So I don't know. Like I find myself using him quite frequently, especially with Furina's release. And just slotting him in randomly. But is he worth pulling? It really depends. I'd say assuming you have Yao Yao and you've used Yao Yao a good amount, have you felt frustrated with the fact that like teams feel awkward to play because of the fact that you have to like spend time bursting with Yao Yao to heal? If you have that feeling, then Baiju might be valuable to you. So you can't have Baiju be a shielder and a healer. He's not a shielder. He provides you a tiny bit of interruption resistance kind of shield. He's not an actual shielder. Like, his shield literally absorbs like 400 damage. Right? Seamless shield absorption. 1.2% HP plus 144. So, math. This is not hard math. 0.0128. Sorry, I'll do the 1.28 times 45,965. That's 588 plus the 144. That's 700 damage. He absorbs 700 damage. Have you seen like Coppelius in Abyss? They hit you for like 15,000. Wait, they're not respawned. It doesn't do anything other than like a little bit of interruption resistance occasionally. So, is Farina coming next patch or no? I mean, currently the rumor is yes, but also the rumor is maybe no, because we've had multiple different rumors for leaks next patch. I'd say wait until the live stream. If you're planning to try to acquire Farina, plan on her coming soon, and like set aside, you know, 150 wishes for it, and like plan on the worst case, right? And plan on potentially next patch. Don't count on it not being next patch. Use for aggravate, his reduced Dendra also makes it easier to swirl Electro. Yes, yeah, there's that too. I actually forgot about that's actually what I should have mentioned instead. I forgot about that. Like there is value to having less Dendra application, and that's one of the circumstances wherein it can be worthwhile to have Baiju over like Nahida. That is true. I find Baiju C2 funny because you don't even have to switch to him. Yeah. I mean, that's you would want to switch to him still most of the time, but yes, it can actually save rotation time, which is funny. If you don't need the healing, you could just leave him off field in some contexts and never switch him. It is definitely funny. Wait, does a C2 trigger healing? I forgot. When your own active character hits a nearby opponent with their attacks, he unleashes this thing, deals some damage, and heals. It does heal too. That's hilarious. Oh, it only heals for 20%, but it happens automatically. It just, when you're in combat, basically when you're attacking things. So that would, yeah, I don't know. His C2 is genuinely one of the more interesting things, and I think it would bridge the gap between him and Nahida enough that like I could just basically never use Nahida. But anywho's, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna go for it at this point. Again, I might do like a couple 10 pulls because getting rid of my guarantee wouldn't actually be the worst thing in the world for the sake of like the Chlorine video, making the Chlorine video more interesting. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm almost assuredly not getting C2 Baiju, is my point. What was I doing? I don't know, but I'm going to go get this challenge. Oh, yeah. I was just going to warp away and then warp back, but I see a challenge, so I'm going to do the challenge. How good is C1 Arlecchino? You just got her C1. I think it's her best constellation. You haven't played enough to tell a difference. I mean, yeah, if you didn't play enough with her C0, but like it's basically just a 20-ish% DPS upgrade. I think it can be more in some team contexts. It's basically just a big freaking automatic DPS upgrade. And on top of that, it's this one. On top of that, it gives you the interruption resistance. So, if that's a frustration with you. But I think she's already, like, this is something I made, like, a point of, like, during her beta, because, like, everyone's like, oh, she doesn't have interruption resistance, like, before her C1 gave her interruption resistance, or people complaining about the fact that her C1 gives her interruption resistance. Oh, frick, Jesus, I jump scared myself. Like she's very friendly for dodging because of her she's probably the friendliest character in the game for just like dodge forehead. The clouds shift in the background kind of goofily as a transition there. And yeah, so like, and the reason is because like she keeps her infusion, right? Indefinitely. So you're not punished, like you're not losing infusion uptime by like having to spend a second dodging or whatever. You just keep it still. So there's less of like a DPS loss for dodging compared to Hu Tao, for example. So, anywho's, I always think it's fine for on-fielders not to have interruption resistance. Like what gives defensive units like Xingqiu, Beidou, other shielders, Zhongli some significant value is the fact that your TPSs don't have interruption resistance. But God, frick, how high do I have to angle that one? Just, I made the same mistake twice. Yeah. What is going on? How did that one not go over? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I'll be honest, these feel kind of bad. Like, these things do not launch at, like, look how high up this is going, right? Right, this is a bit dumb, but like this high up, like I had here. Let me like go to the side, right? Like I was like, if you see my mouse pointer, I had the angle visually. Really, go away. Why?
Right here.
Is this gonna hit the barrels?
Emerge.
No, good. Okay. Okay, right. So let's spawn this again. God dang it, yeah. Oh my god. I like how she killed the barrels after after the slime went in. Anyways, right? So like I had it angled this angle, and then like why does Mihoyo struggle so much with visual indicators is really my question. Like I had it angled this angle, and then the ball launched at like this freaking angle. Why? Like, can you just like have good graphical indicators for your crap? Just makes it overly jank to do some of these things. Excuse me? Why? Why? Yeah, this is not a Polar Arms only stream. Because we're done farming for C6 Alakino. I am trying to, well, you know, obviously being very successful, trying to, see, I thought that was going to trigger it. Trying, stupid, trying to have a brain. Finish Lynette. The goal is to finish Lynette and test some things with Lynette in this stream. No, I pressed E. And test some things with Lynette in this stream, so I can maybe make the video this weekend. Yoink. Wait. Yoink. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Why are you not using Lynette? This is a Lynette stream. Because using her in Overworld is basically going to require, like, getting Lynette to deal damage is going... Here, I'll just switch, like, it's fine. Wait, let me just, like, set up a new team. Yeah, here, we'll just switch to, I mean... Bennett is an interesting option. I know C6 Bennett, and yes, I know that C6 Bennett overrides Lynette, but it should cause self-swirls, so I think there is reason and shenanigans to do Bennett and C6 Lynette stuff. But like it requires support, right? So when you like in Overworld, what I like is just be able to deal with the trash mobs by whacking on them for a second. And like Lynette, even though she can enable MH for herself, right? She's not gonna do that much damage without, you know, using Farazan and using Farina's burst. And that's gonna make her feel a bit worse in Overworld comparatively if I'm just trying to like explore and do things quickly. Also, I should definitely get the... Oh god, it's this one. Oh frick, I hate this. No. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna avoid those. Okay. Nope. Turn harder. Really? Excuse me. Turning radius of the Wave Rider, please. Why? Oh, we're fine. We're fine. I got this. Told you. Why is there a fishing icon on the map now? What does that mean? They're just fishing spots? No, there's a fishing spot over there. Not over here. What is this icon? You see this icon on the minimap? There's a little fish icon on the minimap. I've never seen that before. You can do this challenge using Farina to walk in the water. I should have. Would have been easier. What is this? What? It's just... Oh, is this something with Lynette? Lynette's passive? Shows the nearby recovery orbs. Oh. Okay. Weird. Alright, I'm gonna go back over... Where was I? There was more chests there. Well, whatever. We gotta go fight the boss. Do. Okie dokie. Hello. Also, this thing is animal resistant, by the way, so... here, I have a solution. Wait, no, I don't have a solution. Because I can't switch, because I'm in combat now. Never mind. Well, we'll see how this goes. Blam, it'll probably be fine, because Farazan will do some damage. Oh god, don't die, don't die. It was fine, it was fine. It's just an overworld boss. What was I worried about? Was it Farazan doing the damage there? Or, sorry, was it Farazan doing the damage there? My brain, was it Lynette doing the damage there? Or was it Farazan doing the damage there? It's probably Farazan. No. But it's fine. What is Farazan's build? Oh no, she's on tenacity. Okay. Yeah, okay, maybe Farazan was not doing that much damage there. Never mind. But hey, I think I saw like 9,000 damage from Lynette. Against, I'm pretty sure that has like... I don't know what I don't know what its animal resistance is in Overworld, but it has a lot of animal resistance in general, I think. So yeah. Anywho's. It was fine. But you saw that, right? So let's go, you know, back over here. Let's fight some of the like treasure hoarders that were over here and try to see like what the exploration experience of DPS Lynette will be. So this will be something hopefully I'll remember to like mention in the video. Like I realistically, and this is the case with most 4 stars, right? To DPS 4 stars, they're just worse for Overworld compared to, you know, the likes of Arlecchino, because they're going to be more reliant on getting buffed from other units in the game compared to whatever. So like let's just try like killing some treasure hoarders without, right? Like, to be clear, her talents need to be leveled up a little bit. I could probably get her to do twice this much damage. There's a nice 70k, right? That's like, oh, nothing. And I can do charge attacks, right, too. Like, it's not nothing. It's certainly enough to take care of some treasure hoarders. But the easy solution to actually making Lynette feel good in Overworld is just to put a whack ton of ER on your supports, so you can be pretty liberal with using your burst. So, for example, my Farina has 253 ER. That's more ER than she generally speaking needs on a fab build, I would say. But I also would very often even have more ER than this. In fact, I don't even know why she's not on her higher. I normally have her on like a 270 ER build, so at some point... Oh, I think I switched her off of the circlet she was using before for whatever reason. So, anyways, you get the point, right? Like, it's not very much damage. So as far as like the smoothness of just passively annihilating treasure hoarders to be able to open up this chest in 5 seconds versus it taking 30 seconds, she's a worse overworld experience. She's more reliant on, you know, still using Farazan's burst, Farina's burst, whatever, Bennett, Cloud Retainer, right? Relying on other characters to enable her to deal damage, which is the case for most like 4 stars. It ultimately, but she in particular also suffers from being an animo unit. So as far as like crit DPSing animo goes, that's kind of just how crit DPSing animo units go in general. But then she's also a 4-star, right? So, you know, it's not like it's unusable. It's fine though. You can use the Raiden set on her because Farazan does a lot of damage on ult. On Farazan, you know, you don't want to do... No, Farazan, just for anyone that's not aware, this pressurized collapse counts as skill damage. If you want to maximize Farazan's damage, it would actually be better to do Golden Troop, because it's skill damage, and she's doing damage off-field. I have her on buffing utility, not, you know, damage utility in this instance, but oftentimes I do have her on damage utility. Have her on like 2-piece Animo, 2-piece Gladiator, so she has a lot more attack, a lot more crit. I think she has something like, you know, similar amount of crit rate, but, you know, towards the 150 crit damage range. And she does a noticeable amount of damage. Like there's compelling reasons to do a DPS oriented build on Farazan rather than a supportive oriented build at C6. But 4-piece emblem, no, it's not. If you do, no, there's no reason to do 4-piece emblem other than like you just have a whack ton of ER on your emblem pieces or something. Because the only thing it will benefit, the only thing 4-piece emblem will benefit is her initial cast. Like, yes, this is a big multiplier, but it's not going to be as much damage as the pressurized collapses that are triggering multiple times from off field. I don't remember what the total number of times is. Does it say? Triggered once every 3 seconds. So yeah, that means throughout the duration of her, it's 18 seconds, right? Oh no, oh, she has a constellation. I think that extends her burst duration, right? Yes. So yeah, 18-second burst, right? So 18 seconds divided by 3, that's 6. 6 times 300%, or sorry, 6 times 200% for the pressurized collapse. The skill damage is just the initial activation. That is 1200%. Right? 1200% is more than 755. So, yeah. Like, to be clear, Barbie's Emblem, it's not like it'll be terrible. You can kind of do whatever on C6 Farazan, to be honest, as long as you have her pressurized collapse will still do meaningful damage, right? Even with an emblem build, and you're building a bunch of ER on her, so it's like it's not like it's bad. You can kind of you can put tenacity on her like I have. You can put Golden Troop. You can do 2-piece. You can do emblem as long as she has enough ER to burst consistently. That's all you really need. And she will feel pretty good at C6. So, yeah. Anywho's. The reason Lynette is on lo-fi, by the way, maybe I should play around with other weapons, but the reason Lynette is on lo-fi is just because 4-piece Martial Say Hunters gives, 36% crit rate, and I have a lot of like options for my Martial Say artifacts to be able to get her to a good baseline crit rate. So with Martial Say stacks up, this is like 88% crit rate, right? The passive, the crit rate, yeah, is fine. The passive basically does nothing though, because there's not really much reason to build EM on her. You could do like reaction driver, but she's probably not triggering enough reactions for it to be that relevant. But I don't know. You could probably put an EM timepiece if you're like just spamming charge attacks, maybe with lo-fi, and it'd be fine. I guess I can test that out here shortly after I get her talents leveled up and start comparing some things. Yeah, the only other realistic options I have, I mean, I do have this, which I probably have enough like heavy crit damage pieces, right? Like actually, but it's not leveled up, right? So, like no, I don't have the resources to level a freaking 5-star weapon up. But like let's look at Jade Cutter for example. And then basically I want to avoid crit rate, sorry, like the plague. So, hey, you know what? Actually, no. I was going to say, hey, the EM is going to benefit lo-fi, but I'm not using lo-fi in this context. So actually, I don't have many heavy crit damage flowers, actually, that don't have crit rate, which is unfortunate, but oh well. I don't know. Is it even relevant to swap to that one? It makes more sense to use something else. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, whatever. It's not great, but and then I think I have that, and then probably still that, and this is probably the Animo Goblet I have with the least amount of crit rate. I mean, I could use this, I guess, as an onset piece in this context, but again, would have to level it up. Yep. So that's what we're gonna stick with, and then swap the circlet to one without crit rate. And she's not overcapping, right? So I could do a J Cutter build, and this might seem like it's a lot worse because like 280 crit damage versus 210. But I also have like 300 higher attack, so that's not irrelevant. But realistically, I think the lo-fi build should be better. So we're gonna stick with that. Even with the lower base attack. I think. I also have slightly less ER on this lo-fi build, but if I need more ER on the lo-fi build, I can also just switch to. I think I have a couple different options. I think I have. Oh, wait, okay. I don't have that many flower options, but I can switch to either that or this. Right, that would give me a little bit more crit rate, but I still like 10% crit rate away from capping, right? Can switch to this with ER, switch to that with ER, right? I can sacrifice a little bit of crit to get some more ER if I need, so it'll be fine. I do want to be able to burst consistently with her because her burst realistically is going to contribute more damage. Like DPS Lynette should work perfectly fine without her Animo infusion. It's just you're not going to see. I don't know, okay, DPS plunge DPS Lynette wouldn't work as well, unless you're doing bait plunge. But DPS Lynette in general, because her normal attack multipliers aren't that relevant, it's not actually that important to have her Animo infusion. And again, that's why I think it's actually more interesting to lean into some things with just having her be a reaction driver more. So we'll mess around with Fischl in particular with her. Fischl is always if you want to do a reaction driver for anything, I think Fischl is always kind of the no-brainer option because of the fact that the more reactions you trigger, the more damage Fischl get. Which gives you more value to doing something like, trying to swirl around as much elements as possible, triggering as much, electro reactions as possible, getting more damage out. Let's use Cloud Retainer here just for the shits and giggles for this last run. Okay. I got frick. Hopefully this is the last time I ever have to. The amount of times I've walked up to this boss to fight it, I hate it. Dude, I hope they don't do this again. It's so annoying. Use Emblem because your fire is on a C5 since your launch. Yeah, I mean that's fair. Again, her #1 requirement, C6 or really, C6 or not, is just. Wow. Eh. Yep. Unsurprisingly, and yeah. So and the reason Plunge Lynette is not just going to be better, it's going to be the best, is not just because of Sean Yun's plunge buff. It's also because Animo, right? You have 3 Animo units in the team. Lynette's ER needs are going to be 0, so it means you can fully focus on DPS stats, right? With Farina, she won't have the issue of it taking time to be able to get back her or get the MH stacks built up. She should just get them basically immediately. So yeah, I'm quite confident this is going to be her best team, and that's slightly unfortunate, but that's also just I don't know. As far as I think it's a bit questionable how strong they made the Farina Sean Yun combo specifically. But it will have limitations, right? It's not going to be as good in multi-target, for example. And this current Abyss cycle is a pretty significant check for AoE damage, I would say. So, anywho's, I am definitely more interested in playing around with the other variations of the teams, but I will include showing some amount of footage from Plunge Lynette. Because it is going to be the easiest, most brainless, simple way to actually get meaningful value out of her getting an Animo infusion, specifically. It is all it really is. So, yeah. Yeah. It exists. It's a Shen Yun team, and it's Shen Yun with Animo unit, so it's going to work just as well as Sucrose plunge works, as well as freaking Shao plunge works, obviously. I mean, it'll be worse than Shao plunge, but yeah. You pretend to crown Lynette. I'm not crowning Lynette. I don't have the resources for that. I don't even have the resources to level. I would like to level 8 all of her talents for the video. I just don't have. I don't have the materials. So, but we are going to. Do we have Ah, look at that. The farming was enough earlier. That's nice. I got actually a lot more Heroes Wits than I thought. I only opened like I think maybe 5 to 10 chests and got enough Heroes Wits to level 90 here. So let's go. A little bit of a waste of XP because I'm cursed by not getting into the baseline material, but it's fine. Let's go. Oh, we need these. Okay, and these. Let's finish her Ascension though. And we'll see how many resources I have to level her talents. But yeah, I'll at least get her talents to level 6. Realistically, like, the difference between... I'll mention this in the video. The main reason I would like to have her talents leveled higher is because if I don't have her talents leveled to, like, level 8, there's all kinds of dumb people that'll be like, how you're doing DPS on that, and you didn't even level her talents level 8. Like, people that think the talent makes more, like... Oh my god, the difference between, you know, talent level 6 on her normal attacks and talent level 8 on the normal attacks is the difference in, like, anything meaningful. Like, it's not going to be the difference maker between, like, the team being able to clear content or not, right? She's ultimately far more reliant on her supports than she is going to be on how high her talent level is. And, like, if you're someone who's maining, you know, DPS Lynette and wants to like maximize her, obviously level up her talents more, but for the video I'm going to make, it won't actually matter, but I like to avoid the dumb commenters. This is why I would prefer to level it more, but I don't know. We'll see what I can do. Okay, wait, I don't need to go to that screen yet. Let's see if I have, so I have one of these already actually, so I need to be able to make 15 of these, which that looks like it's not gonna happen. Couldn't you buy 1k XP books from the shop, or from the teapot, sorry? Maybe? Do they sell 1k? I thought they only sold the, I thought they only sold Heroes Wits in the 5k. I don't think they sell 1k. I could be wrong though, they might. Blam. Alright, that is 5. I need to craft 2 of these. Okie dokie. Should be easy enough. I guess we will use hydro crystals because I don't intend to get Siege Queen. And there's probably no hydro character that's going to be that relevant coming out anytime soon. And blam. It's sold in bulk times 10. Okay, yeah, I probably should buy a couple of those then to just have it as a baseline to save some XP, but it's fine. Wasting a couple of the red books is not the end of the world. Anyways, if you want to like really complain it, like by the way, to like expand on my wait, not doing that. Not yet. If you want to complain about like me not leveling talent levels to whatever threshold that you vaguely think is required to DPS a character for whatever reason, prove it. Back it up with math. Okay? I'd even consider pinning your comment. But nobody does that. Nobody actually tries to like, your talent levels are not high enough. Are you even trying? Like, yeah. Who's gonna rerun by side of Siege Dream's banner? Probably Farina, is my guess, but I could be wrong. Okay. Ascend. The lamb. Get the mine max.
I never imagined I could become this powerful. Looks like I won't need to hide behind you anymore.
Hide behind you. That's okay. Whatever. Yep. Not level 9. There's like no reason to level 90 her. I mean, okay, you could level 90 for her like swirl damage or whatever, but like no. Or okay, the reasons to level 90 her. Hopefully, I remember to mention this in the video. The reasons to level 90 her would be for like if you're using her as a reaction driver, not for necessarily her swirl damage, because I'd say she doesn't have enough to incentivize like leaning into her swirl damage otherwise. But if you're using her, you can do things like swirling Electra around, and you can trigger Hyper Blooms with the Animo swirls, and that will use her EM and her level to determine the damage for. So, you know, in that context, it can make sense to level 90 her, but otherwise, no. So, anywho's with Lo-Fi at level 80 here, her attack is a bit low, which is expected because of Lo-Fi. And that's part of the reason I like want to use Farazan and support, just to get her attack a little bit higher. I think she's on, yeah, you're on Noblesse, so that's a little bit of an attack buff as well. So she'll probably be at like, 2k-ish attack, which is not amazing, but she'll make up for it by having a whack ton of crit. And she also, of course, has the damage bonus Ascension, so with all the damage bonus and crit buffs going on, she should, despite the low attack stat, should be more than competent as far as her stats go. And again, the only real concern is just her ER, I think, in certain team contexts, because like this team obviously won't have an issue because 3 Animo units. But yeah, why are you on Sacrificial Bow? Good God, I must have been using Fab Bow and someone else. Diona. Oh yeah, I was messing with Diona stuffs. I will actually give you Elegy for the purposes of testing stuff here. More attack buffs. And it'll be a little bit of an EM buff, actually, which will benefit Lo-Fi a little bit. So, anywho's, let's see. This should be enough more to get to level 6, right? Right. Let's get all our talents to level 6. 6 is obviously the baseline minimum. All of her talents deal in the context of at least using her infusion from C6. If you guys can hear the leaf blower outside, let me know. I can shut my window. I don't know if you can hear it. But in the context of, well, thank you Sylveon for the being a member for 16 months. Not Triple Crown, therefore DPS is irrelevant. True, you're right. What teams we'll use for Lynette? We'll discuss the teams and try different teams in a bit. Like I said, the Plunge Shun unit is realistically the best one, unfortunately. But I will try some different ones. So, anyways, all of our talents are relevant. I don't know exactly which one's the best. It doesn't really matter. I'm just leveling them all a little bit regardless. So we're going to keep her at 666 for now. I will go check and see how many I can craft of the golds. Okay, the leaf blower is getting closer. Hear what? The leaf blower. I can hear a leaf blower loud and clear outside right now because I live in a housing development which has HOAs that, they pay people to do lawn work and whatever. And so, anywho's, probably normal attack if you have C6? No. No, I'm pretty sure the normal attack... Okay, with Plunge Cloud Retainer, the normal attack might be the most relevant, right? With doing plunging, the normal attack might be the most relevant. But, like, these multipliers are... like... Whoa. Oh my. Look, we gain about... Look on our charge attack, we gain a total of... Let's see, 5... what is that? Let's a whopping 15% multiplier increase from her. With doing plunging, normal attacks might be the most relevant. I don't think they are. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure how many times her burst hits. So, if her burst hits at least 3 times, it's probably her burst still, realistically. Especially with her Vivid Shot damage. But anyway, does the Vivid Shot only happen if you absorb an element? I think it does. Oh, shoot. Okay. So you have to have another... Well, no, that'll be fine. It'll always happen because you'll have either Farina or Pyro or whatever, so that's fine. The Vivid Shot isn't worth that leading into, but it'll deal some damage anyways, let's why does she have a 70 burst cast? Ugh. Ugh. It's fine. Whatever. It won't matter for this team. So, anywho's, oh yeah, I was gonna go craft the golds. See how relevant it is, or see how many I have. I can't word. It's fine. We're gonna use Shincho because he should give me an additional one there. And then we'll use Layla because she's gonna double it. Nope. All right, and then we have to use Shincho again to get to 21, so that's fine. Yep, nice. And then we're going to use that Layla because she's going to double it. Nope. Dang it, Layla. Alright, we only have 8. So, basically, and I can't farm anymore because it's not... I would want to make this video for this weekend, and I'm not going to record it on Saturday when the next time the domain is open for. So basically, I could level one of these talents to level 8. And it might be the normal attack talent. I don't know. I think I will level one of them to 8, to be clear. It depends a little bit. If I see like damage numbers, particularly in the non-plunge team, if I see damage numbers for her normal attack in the non-plunge team that are like getting to 9,500, that, you know, increasing her normal attack talent to level 10, or sorry, level 10 to level 8 will be the difference maker between seeing 10,000 damage from her normal attacks versus 9,000 damage. Then like that's enough of a perceptual difference that I will do her normal attack to level 10. And that's, I think, what I care about in this context is like none of her talents are so relevant compared to the relevance of just the supports you're using to amplify her damage in a way that like matters individually, I think, which one I level in this case. There we go. Okay. Best thing to level up is ignoring her and using Lisa instead. True. True. Okay. Oh, the reason I'm doing exploration on my main account now is because of characters like Lynette, where I need to like look at my I just leveled her to 80. This is what I have left. I also just lost like 1 million more. Just leveling her talents to and I'll go under 1 million more, I think, once I level her, once I level one of these to level 8, right? So like I'm stuck in this cycle on my main account of being eternally low resources. So I want to do some streams exploring more on my main account, but is all. Yes, she is C6. Because I need to explore for resources. And today specifically, I was doing some farming for C6 Lynette. Not to get C6 Lynette, to level her up. So at this point, we can go test her now. So we'll test plunge quick. It's gonna be fine. Go figure. I don't. Oh, annoyingly, I forgot to. I don't even have the Sea of Bygone Eras unlocked yet, but I need to go unlock the Sea of Bygone Eras and get to that Bishop area so I can test stuff there. But that's fine. Can you guys really not hear this leaf blower? It is so loud. Let's see how much damage this does. 23k, not bad. As far as I'm gonna have enough ER. Oh yeah, that should be fine. That'll be fine. Okay. How much time will it take to get those Bishops? I don't know. I think... Where is it? I don't even know where it is. I don't know where it is. Frick. Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, so I don't think it would take me that long, realistically, but it's fine. We can go to the Abyss if we need to test an AoE situation. I think there's AoE in the first side of Abyss, I think. Yeah, it's Magukenki, yeah. So if we need to test AoE, we can go to the Abyss. Alright. Hello. Let's do you first. I should probably do Farazon first, actually. Again, this team is the most boring, but realistically, nice 60k there. Can you land on the ground? Oh my god, bro. Realistically is going to be her. Oh, I didn't contact with her skill. Okay, that's annoying, but I mean the damage was pretty good there, right? Oh frick, I need to go put a waypoint down. Nope. Alright, I think we saw like 69,000 from her skill. Can you de-aggro, please? I want to place a waypoint, sir. Go away. Go away. Thank you. Where do be my waypoints? I need to go craft more waypoints. Use blam. So, anywho's, that was like 69,000 damage, I think, from her skill was the highest number we saw, which, of course, that's the highest multiplier, right? So, other than, I mean, okay, the plunges might be getting more with Cloud Retainer buff, I guess, now that I think about it, but I think the skill was actually the highest I saw there. So I don't know, that makes me kind of think I should do her skill instead, just for the perceptual value of seeing a bigger number. Monkey brain. Why is there a fish on the mountain? Because there's always fish on the mountain. No, it's something with Lynette's passive. Okay.
The tea can wait.
Can it? Oh, can I switch? Okay. Oh yeah, 93k. God, I hate stop landing on the ground. Oh, okay, I need to get a feel for the timing of activating her skill. But anyways, it's fine. And again, her problem is that like with her infusion playstyle, I'm just doing that. Oh, frick you!
I do hope my tea has
I hate Rocky so much. Like this, I just want a tanky enemy in the overworld. It's like a single target that doesn't get bonked around. Like, God. I like Liam more than Rocky, but Liam has his own problems of causing too much BS on the ground that kills you. So it's annoying in its own way. Although Liam is probably better to test plunging against it, I think, because plunging will avoid most of the BS on the ground. Yeah, and yeah, why can't we just have a damage dummy? Yeah, because that's all I really want in this instance, but... okay, I'm gonna go get Lynette's energy up here. It's these slimes, and then we'll fight Liam. Anyway, it's not like a 90k plunge there, so... I don't know. It might be worth... Oh, I swapped the wrong character. It might be worth... leveling her? I don't know, I can't decide. I can't decide whether I want to do her normal attack talent or her... The normal attack talent is... We'll see. We'll see after I do her other stuff. I keep on switching the wrong character. Okay, that should be good enough. Okay. They'll add a damage dummy to Teapot, but it won't let you get energy. Yeah, probably. That's all I really want for Natlan. There you go. Oh, someone asked in the chat earlier, what do I think Natlan's gimmick is going to be? Damage dummy. There you go. Just damage dummies all over the place. No. What do I think Natlan's gimmick is going to be? I don't know. I haven't that seriously thought about it, because it could be literally freaking anything, right? If I were to place a bet, I think they're going to do... I think they're gonna do some gimmick that requires. You know what? I'm gonna bet. Well, no, I can't. I don't know. I can't think of anything. I was gonna bet something like that is like linked to Chlorind, because it would make Chlorin's kit a bit more interesting and better potentially. So the initial idea that popped in my head was simply just, where's the thing for this, by the way? There it is. Was simply like some kind of gimmick that incentivizes rapid amounts of hits, like so lots of small numbers rather than one big number. I don't think they'll do it actually though, because making kits that just get lots of big numbers, like, you know, oh, I see 200k damage, is an easy way for people to monkey brain go, wow, this character's so good, even though it's like not actually necessarily what matters. But Chlorind might be an indication of lots of small numbers rather than one big number. So could be an incentivization, like say just some kind of character kit gimmicks that like trigger effects based on rapid instances of damage from your teammates or whatever, right? Which wouldn't be tied to elemental application or anything, it would just be tied to instances of damage, which is something that there's not in the game currently. I don't think there's really anything that cares about how many instances of damage you do in a certain time frame. So it could be. I could see it. So there you go. That's my random moonshot guess, but it could be literally anything. Okay. Let's
Let's do this.
see if we can do this slightly better than I guess Rocky. I'm gonna waste a plunge buff, but oh well. Yeah, 90k, 90k, and another skill. I don't know if I actually had to do that skill yet, but... Alright, and then... You know, one interesting thing actually with... So because of the issue with Lynette, if you want to be able to do 2 infusions per rotation, right, you need to have 24-second rotations, because their skill lasts 12 seconds. So you need to, like, extend rotations slightly. But... Cloud Retainer also has that same problem with her C1, but more importantly, you could just use her skill twice technically. So Cloud Retainer's ER needs are functionally less in this team. 1, because it's all the animo, but 2, because she has a 12-second cooldown on her skill. So you could technically just use her skill twice. But anywho's. Ow. Stop. I didn't skill again first, whatever, it's fine. Also, she didn't get her burst back. But she did after I casted the skill, I think, so. Oh, yeah, need to remember to... Also, you're almost dead. Let's not kill you. Not kill you, not kill you. So, yeah, I mean, plunge is good. Yep. Yep. And realistically, that's the most obvious way to get value out of her actually having a normal attack infusion. And having a whole bunch of damage bonus, right? Like, the reason she's doing, you know, near 100k plunges there with only like level 6 talents is like getting, I have C1 Farina, right? So 100% damage bonus from Farina. I'm getting how much damage bonus from Farazan? 36%, I think. Does that go up with C6? No, I think it's just the crit damage that goes up. Yeah. So, you know, 36% from, or 100% from Farina, 36% from Farazan. That's 136. And then her C6 is giving her 20%. That's 156, and then she has Animo Damage Ascension. So with an Animo Damage Goblet, she has baseline 70%. So we're at like over 200 and some odd % damage bonus. And damage bonus scales really well with Shan Yun's burst, or Shan Yun's buff. So, yep. That's why it's working pretty well, and that's pretty much what I expected. It's good. It's realistically going to be the best way to do it, but it's also kind of boring because it's just doing plunge. And it's not fundamentally that different from doing plunge with, you know, any other unit. So let's try... Well, first let's just try something simple. Let's just try just swapping out Shen Yun for Fischl, right?
In the name of the Prinzessin.
So obviously we're going to see less damage from Lynette here. But Fischl will be driving her own damage, right? So her, you know, DPS loss from Lynette by not having Shen Yun buffing her, but damage from Fischl herself, right? So we'll see how this does. Although I don't really think I want to fight this. Whatever. I'm here. I may as well fight him. Well, Beto instead of Fischl? I mean, you could, but it's going to be relevant specifically in AoE. And Beto is going to do less damage than Fischl, and it gives you less value from like having a reaction engine going, right? Because Fischl gets more damage the more electric reactions you trigger. So, yeah. Like Beto could be a fine option. It might work. Also, I don't have... Oh, yeah. Okay. I forgot. Farina want healer. So, you know. Okay, getting like 15k charge attacks. Yeah, okay. So, don't recommend this team. Need a healer. I forgot. Sorry. Whoops. So I guess. How about? Okay. Well, actually, first of all, let's test without Farazan. I want to see what happens. Like what happens if we throw in Baishin, right?
Time for a house call.
Her ER is going to be much, much higher in this team. In fact, like, that's going to be the main, like, realistically, you are not going to burst with Lynette in this team unless you just build her, like, for emblem. So that's fine. In AoE, Beta would be better. Maybe. She probably would be. I don't know. We could test it. Do I have my Beto still equipped? Beto's ER needs are rough, though.
If you ever
Yeah, I
want
do. Okay. Yeah, we can test it. This is a pretty good invested Beto build. We can go try it with the kinkies. Without Farina, to be clear. Kind of want energy on Baiju. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Let's do this thing!
Let's do this thing.
by royal decree.
Remember, health comes first.
Over here.
Yeah, so this would be a team where
Step on us.
it's 35k from her skill.
Strike a pose.
This would be a team where it makes more sense.
Ignite that tuck.
Oh god, she died. Whoops.
Not
Okay.
too hot to handle.
Oops. Like, I don't know. The team DPS is still fine there. This team definitely like her damage was low enough there, right? We're in that team. Absolutely, she should be on VV to buff Farina's and Fischl's damage by swirling Electro and Hydro, because it's not obvious. And you can still have her on DPS VV, but like on Marsha says there, she's not getting meaningful enough damage for that to be worthwhile. Well, then it's not going to be a Lynette team anymore? What do you mean? How is it not a Lynette team? The only way this is not a Lynette team is if I do this. Like, I'm sorry, this is just a pet peeve of mine. This is how I make it not a Lynette team. Now it's not a Lynette team. If Lynette is in the team and she is doing things, it's a f***ing Lynette team. Okay? Just because damage is being dealt not from Lynette's talents, but instead by using Lynette to try to drive reactions, to get more official damage, to whatever, right? It doesn't mean she's not... It's not a Lynette team, right? And like, is this team functionally that different from using Sucrose? No, I'm aware. Duh. And I would say Sucrose is a better bet if you're just wanting to play this like team format. That's not the point. The point is like, hey, you like Lynette, you got her C6 and you want to use her? There's actually some different interesting ways you can use her. So, sorry, it's a bit of a pet peeve of mine that like people are like, it's not a Lynette team if you do that. It's not an X team if you use this. You're using Cloud Retainer, so it's not a Kave team anymore. It's not the point. The point is to use the characters in different ways. Like, I'm not... Like, there are instances where, like, I do think that that statement can apply, right? Like, for example, the Cloud Retainer statement. I think if you're doing a pyro plunge, you know, pyro vape plunging on, like, if for, like, Kave, right? If I'm doing Farina, C6 Bennett, Kave, and Cloud Retainer together, you know, that absolutely is not a Cloud... It's functionally not a Kave team, right? To be clear. But the difference isn't like, I'm still trying to like do what I can to utilize their kit, right? I'm still trying to utilize Lynette's Animo in some way. And I wanted to check this at a baseline for like the idea of a reaction driver. That's why. That's all it really is. So, anywho, this is probably not a team I'm going to focus on in the video, if even including it at all. But it's something I wanted to check. Is all it really comes down to. You know what I want to... We don't need to test this again, though. I want to see what happens with Bennett here quick. So Bennett is a weird... Where the frick is he? Where are you, my boy? There he is.
You want me?
Bennett is a weird case. Probably not Farina. What do we do here? Let's just do, well, first of all, let's just do Bennett, Farazan, I guess? Right, and what I'm just trying to explore here is, like, ways to, you know, do stuff with Lynette being Animo, do stuff with the fact that you can get additional Animo application out, and ways to see damage from Lynette that don't, you know, rely on, too many specific characters, right? Because that's what I think is potentially relevant, is that you can do like setups like this, for example. This is 4 4-star characters. I mean, okay, 4 4-star characters. This one kind of wants to be C6, which is may as well be a 5-star character, or worse than 5-star character as far as acquisition difficulty goes. But being that Farazan is rerunning, I'm not gonna like apologize for using C6 Farazan or anything, and focus on using C6 Farazan because it's just an Animo DPS problem, and she's had enough banners and she's going to be on banner again now that, like, I think we're getting to the point that she's ran enough and enough people might have her C6 now. It's just kind of fine to just use her with C6. And she is usable without C6, to be clear. Just a lot more annoying. So, yep. I don't know, let's just try this. The weird thing with this, though, so Bennett's C6 infusion. And I like the idea of trying something that's not Frina, by the way, because Frina is, yeah, Frina's Frina, and she's a 5-star. But anyways, Bennett C6 infusion is going to override Lynette's infusion, but it should cause self swirls, which there's some interesting shenanigans to be had with that we'll mess around with here. And this is something you could, and the self swirls is something that could be done with, for example, Jean, where Jean doesn't do it on like infusion on a weapon. She does it by applying Animo to your own character. But so this is going to be something specific to Lynette or like C6 Kazuha that you could do, where you can get self swirls on the weapon and like use the pyro swirl to trigger other reactions. For example, maybe Virgin. We'll see though. So yeah, let's just see how this is. Official isn't necessarily the obvious inclusion here. It's just that she should deal some meaningful damage. Should I use someone else other than official is the question. Okay, well, first of all, the infusion problem means we should actually switch Lynette to an attack percent. An attack percent goblet. Probably that one. Well, actually, wait. Just gonna have too much crit rate, I think, with that one. She's also gonna not have enough ER. Okay, it's fine. Whatever. Yeah, goodbye. All the energy, that's fine. Alright, attack goblet. There we go. The attack goblet is like, right, we want to benefit their pyro normal attack damage and her animo damage. That's all the idea is. Regardless of what one she's doing or which one is overriding itself. Do I want to do someone else other than official here? Being that, okay, like, honestly, as far as buffing Lynette goes, Farina still makes sense here, but using Bennett as the healer. Like Bennett on a Maiden's build, and this team, like, by nature of Lynette only having like a 6-second infusion after using one of her skills, actually does have the flexibility to like use one skill, do some normal charge attacks with Lynette, and then swap out your other characters to heal them up a little bit with Bennett, and then swap back to her a little bit. There's probably that dynamic that you could do, but I'm just gonna not use Farina, I think, because I want to see how it works without Farina. It's probably gonna be meaningfully worse as far as the damage we see from her, but it's fine. I'm just trying to think if there's anyone else that I have that would buff her meaningfully. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just see with this.
Let's do this thing!
We'll see about that.
Probably should have done official first, but
Teamwork is dreamwork. Over here.
come on, can I hit attacks? There we go. Okay. That is less pyro damage than I thought I would get. Am I getting the self swirls? I didn't even pay attention. Wait. Let's test the self swirls. Now, make sure that actually functions like I think it should. I don't actually didn't. Can you... Bruh, I just want an enemy that doesn't annihilate me with one shot. Okay,
Everybody stand back. Surprise.
Bro! Dude! Can you not one-shot me? These freaking enemies. Okay. Like Mihoyo, for the love of everything, just add a damage dummy in the game. I don't think she was getting swirls, by the way. That's unfortunate.
Off we go. Let's light it up.
What? What? Excuse me? She was swimming here. Bennett doesn't swim here. Okay. Oh, Lynette is not swimming now? Oh, and now she is. Okay. Bennett not swimming. Swimming. God dang it. Why? Ah, freaking stupid. Please, I just...
Over here. Keep on up. Adventure time.
The nice thing about C6 Lynette is at least that, like, you don't need to build energy on her.
Over here.
Like, if you want to DPS Lynette without C6, you'd have to build energy. I shouldn't have killed her. Or killed the crab. Okay, so... Right.
Keep on up.
Gets an animal infusion. Like, I expect... Oh, frick off! I expected to override, to be clear, but what I wanted to see was that C6 Lynette's... Frick off! C6 Lynette's animal infusion, like, despite being overridden, would still refresh. And that we would see swirls on the weapon, right?
Teamwork is strength. Over here.
Nothing. That's really unfortunate. Alright. I forgot Mihoyo hates fun. Why? So the reason that happens, I think, is because that means Lynette's... So the way that, like, if I recall correctly, the way that Bennett's infusion works is, like, every time it just, like, reapplies the infusion multiple times, like, when you're standing within his burst. So what ends up happening is for like infusions like Lynette, he's overriding it because like first she has the animal infusion and then like Bennett C6 infusion thing procs and then overrides it, right? Because Lynette does not have the cannot be overridden clause. So like it being overridden is not the problem. The problem is that they didn't add anything in to even make it so that Lynette's infusion automatically refreshes again, right? Because they could have made it so basically the game is applying the infusion to Lynette only when you use her skill, right? So that means the only time we should see self swirls with Bennett C6 is when we use, like, the instance we use her skill, right? We will see the swirls. So let me get Bennett's burst back. Let's see if I can demonstrate this. Oh, the crab's gonna die before. Don't die, crab. I just need energy. Alright. Oh, you try the Fatui local legend? That one's the most annoying one. It moves too much. So, do this.
Over here.
I didn't even see the swirl then.
Keep on up.
Hmm. Why does it not do any swirl? It should trigger a swirl, I feel like, as soon as it... At least on the instance of when I use Lynette E, it should do a swirl on the sword. Hmm. I forgot Mihoyo hates fun. I swear that seems like something they specifically put in to like not have it do that. Why? Okay. Well, unfortunately that kind of invalidates any yeah, that kind of invalidates any C6 Bennett swirling infusion shenanigans you could do. Try using her E outside of Bennett verse. Yeah, that's true. That might work. I gotta refill energy again. Okay, let's solve this problem. Make this a little bit faster.
Off we go.
Do. What about Candace Bennett? I mean, I can try it. I don't think. I mean, it might do Hydro Swirls, but Hydro Swirls don't have an AoE. I haven't actually tested Candace Bennett. I can't remember what it does. I think I did test it, but it was forever ago. Okay.
Off we go. Everybody.
Do that. Get the Pyro Infusion. Alright, Pyro.
Over here.
Did that trigger? That might have actually triggered.
Surprise.
Yeah, I think that did trigger Swirl. It seemed like it did, at least. There was like a poof. I'd actually have to like, I feel like I'd have to like have a Dendro core or something around to know for sure. Okay. But anyways, I don't know. There's, well, don't kill it. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's go revive the crab. I don't know. The problem with like Chong Yun and Candace is like, this is the like, why? Okay, there we go. He got his HP back. Is one of like those characters don't do enough. Like the reason C6 Bennett is so relevant as an infusion is because Pyro is a very useful element for triggering various reactions, and 2, Bennett does a lot in his kit other than just the infusion. So using Chung Yun just for his infusion, and Chung Yun does all else, is not very good. And then same thing for Candace if you're just using for her infusion. Candace with C6 can be, you know, enough Hydra application to drive something though, so Candace is a little bit more relevant. My assumption is with just Candace, she's going to override in the same way, like completely override, and there's not, and the Hydro Swirls aren't relevant because there's no AoE. So, yeah. Yeah, no recurring swirls or anything. She just overrides. I can get why they did that to like keep things simple, right, and whatnot, but like it definitely makes oh frick, I killed it. God dang it. Okay, I lost my convenient energy generator. Whoops. But yeah, and real quick we'll check Candace and Bennett. And depending on like the ordering of when I activate those things. Interesting, she's doing a Hydro, so Bennett is not. Okay, yeah, I think I heard. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Candace tends to override Bennett. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, so I don't know. I without it constantly like swirling, without it constantly triggering swirls off of her sword, which the reason Mahoy did that, as far as I can tell, is just because they hate fun. It's not like it would have been that insane, but oh well. They refuse to make Lynette a good animal player for anything other than, I guess, just her normal attacks, but that's unfortunate. And that does mean, obviously, this is an example of a team, one of the rare teams wherein C6 Bennett is actively bad. Like, I thought C6 Bennett was going to have some interesting synergies still with her. Realistically, if you wanted to use Bennett with Lynette C6, it just makes it actively worse, but still, you know, there's still absolutely more, really, there's still a vast number of reasons to C6 Bennett. I still think it's the best constellation in the game. Beyond, it is a downside. Really? Alright. So, that means for my video, it's my favorite character. I mean, As far as characterization in the game goes, recency bias, but I think Arlecchino is probably tied with Yai at this point. I think as far as balance of kit, this is surprising. I'm surprised I like an on-fielder this much, but it just goes to show, like, again, like what I enjoy the most is just versatility in characters' kits, and she has a lot of versatility for anything I could imagine a pyro unit being used for, basically, just with the restriction of being on-field, but she has so much flexibility with being swapped out, whatever, that I like her a lot. So as far as balance of kit design and characterization and presentation of the story goes, Arlecchino's probably my favorite. Yai, I think, has a slightly less interesting kit, but, you know, it's probably still basically near tied. So, probably her or Yai. And as far as undervalued kits goes, Candace. Anyways. So,
In the name of the princessin.
realistically, I think I only have
I have high hopes for this journey.
a couple options. I'll show like for a DPS Lynette video. Since, well, okay, no. We can still test one more thing. I can still actually use her infusion, but I can do like I can show like Hyper Bloom or whatever. I should be able to, right? I just need, what do I need to do? The problem is she's gonna get 0 talent damage in this context, so this would basically just be building full EM Lynette. So we're gonna ignore the damage because I don't feel like changing her full build, but we need, it's Nahida, we'll throw in Nahida.
I've been waiting for you for ages.
And then we need an Electro unit. Okay, the problem is, actually Nahida might not be ideal here, because
I'll treat your wounds.
we need to be able to, actually I already showed this team technically. We need to be able to swirl Electro with her to be able to trigger Hyper Bloom course, is the general idea, but let me go see if I can actually like show this. I don't think I'm going to include this in the video though, because it's not, this is just an interesting thing you can do with like having an animo damage on your normal attacks, right?
If you'd like to learn the
Sucrose is realistically a lot better at this. So I can't say I recommend it. But the interesting thing conceptually, at least with Lynette, is Lynette has more things incentivizing her to I have attack goblet on, so you know, let's actually just show this. Lynette has more things incentivizing her to be built with crit, right? So like with something like maybe I will show this in the video, right? Oh frick, you need to so with Lo-Fi, for example, you know, I do gain some amount of talent damage from having some EM Hounder, so let's do like Quick Bloom. So basically this is going to be like Quick Bloom Lynette, I guess. Is that what, I think that's what this is. I don't know. It's weird. Where's my friggin' EM timepiece? There it is. Use that. Alright. So now with 203 EM, I need to switch back to actually, you know what, let's be extra shenanigan-y with it. Let's use an EM goblet. Well, first of all, I'm gonna put the Animo goblet back on so I can easily swap back. I don't think EM goblet actually makes sense here. I wanna emphasize that. But the idea here, there we go. The idea here is we still have a lot of we still have a lot of crit with 4P's MH. We have Foliar, which is giving us bonus damage based on EM. Not much, but something. We have a lot less attack, which is not great. But if we can swirl Electro around, right, we use the 400 EM on her to trigger Hyper Blooms. And this is a team where she'd want to be level 90 if she is triggering the Hyper Blooms. So I don't know, let's see. Let's see. Kooky? Well, no, then Kooky would be triggering the Hyper Blooms. Like, yes, I'm aware that you put frickin' Kooky in. I need Electro on the idea is to have, you know, a crit DPS with Farina. That's like Farina is benefiting Fischl, and Farina is benefiting Lynette, right? And then we have Dendro Baiju's not going to be generating that much cores, but hopefully she'll be generating something. So as long as he generates some cores, right, Lynette can swirl Electro around, trigger the cores, trigger Hyper Bloom on them, right? This is a team that's full damage performance would not be realized. If Lynette is triggering a meaningful amount of Hyper Blooms, she would want to be level 9 in this team. And that's not happening for the video. So, again, this is something you could do with Sucrose. So, you know, Lynette C6 100% suffers from the fact that Sucrose freaking exists. And a lot of the interesting things you could do with her can be done with Sucrose. So, that kind of leaves you with just doing simple crit DPS things, like doing Plunge, right? And like, I really wish, like, Plunge wouldn't be the objectively, like only option for just doing full Animo normal attack, charge attack damage, plunge damage. If we had, like, charge attack buffers in the game, if we had a normal attack buffer that wasn't, you know, cringe as far as, like, ER needs and build needs and whatever. So, like, the fact that Yunjin as a normal attack buffer exists and has all the problems in her kit, and then they made Xianyun, it's just like, why? Why? So, anywho's. C6 Kazuo would have the same problems as C6 Lynette, basically. Okay, let's just
The tea can wait.
do some stuff here.
Mind the side effects. Taking the turn for the...
Use the spotlight.
Yeah, it does work. Yep. Her burst or her normal attacks are triggering the Dendro cores. And I'm yep. See, it works. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. That is cool. I mean, and like compared to the plunge, right? That was not me. I was trying to like pay attention to the cores and whatever, so I wasn't trying to like do things that optimally. But like the total team DPS there was not. And again, this is like without Lynette actually like having a build properly incentivized to her, and she wasn't getting that much talent damage. So again, I don't know. This is always the problem with Clip Bloom in general. I don't know where the balance is as far as like how much EM you put on her in this context versus Animo damage. So if we swap back, for example. And again, ER needs the problem here since her bursts. One thing that was noticeable there is her burst is relevant for triggering the Dendro cores. You can use her normal attacks, but also her burst might be more relevant. Realistically. So this means it's something you can actually do without infusion. The infusion is just an additional way to trigger them.
The tea can wait.
Let's see.
Remember, health comes first.
Yep, see, she triggers the Hyper Bloom cores. Oh, it helps if I use E again. Also, I need to refresh Fischl, so the team rotation is going to be something like, you know, probably when Lynette's first infusion runs out, swap to Fischl maybe, and I don't know. I don't know what the ideal rotation is. It's weird. It's interesting, right? It's just an idea of trying to gain some amount of value from additional reactions triggered by Lynette to deal team damage, as well as get some meaningful talent damage in still. She didn't have her burst up there, so I wanna do that again with her burst. But let's go refill Baiju's energy quick. Yeah, Gilded Dreams would probably be better. You're probably right. You don't have to worry about any MH stacks that would also. Well, I mean, I don't know. MH would still be better as far as seeing talent damage from Lynette, which wasn't meaningless there, right? But see, this is why I need C1 Baiju. Okay.
The tea can wait.
I'm gonna wait to do Fischl after Baiju this time. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Oh god, my Baiju does not have enough ER apparently. It is Lynette, but I kind of already knew that. Oh, what? Okay. I do not have Baiju's burst up, so we're getting no additional Dendro application, so I mean, Okay, so energy problems, but you at least saw from the first rotation, like the damage engine works there, and again, she's not reaching. That's what. Again, I don't. It's not necessarily that relevant to level 90 her if she's only on 200 EM. Like it's not like the team DPS goes up insanely there by having her level 90. But the formula was there, right? There was enough team damage for that to work. But, and again, is that fundamentally that different from just using Sucrose there? No, not really. And Sucrose is a bit more convenient in some methods, but it's not the point. The point is like you like Lynette, you want to use her, right? Let's want to get C2 Baiju on this banner, my first C2. I don't know. I'm still considering it. We'll see. If I get an early C1, if I get an early C1, I will definitely consider going for it. But I don't need the 4 stars on the banner. I really wanted Kave in the banner to justify it, or any 4-star that's relevant on the banner. The benefit is that all the 4 stars on the banner I have C6 of. So you know, anywho's. Yeah, Baiju needs more energy, or I need C1. What con should you go for on Layla? I mean, I don't think her constellations are that relevant. Her C4 is a weird buffing constellation, but the way it works, I think, is goofy, so it's not that good. That just is the co-op shield constellation, and I think makes her shield slightly better or whatever. C6 makes her slugs do more damage, which is not irrelevant, so I don't know. If you want to maximize your DPS from Layla, rather than... Like, if you're just using her as a generic shielder, you don't need C6. But if your goal is to maximize Layla DPS, you know, you could do it. You could get Layla C6, but... Anywho's, so yeah, the benefit on that banner for me would be like, if I do decide to go on the whim of like trying for C6 Baiju, sorry, not C6, going for C6 Alakino's rotted my brain, going for C2 Baiju, since I have a guarantee, and I got a good chunk of wishes there, and I think I would want to save at least 34 in case I need, because I want to always save 34 so I can get, or more actually, so I can get the standard characters there in the shop, like Lisa. So, anywho's, point is, if I get like an early C1 guaranteed, I can do a 10 pull, get C1 Baiju, I will probably try to go to Pity and see if I win the 50-50 for C2. It's an interesting constellation, and like I said, I think increasing his Dendro application, even if it's only like relatively minor, increasing his Dendro application slightly to the point that he might bridge the gap between his performance and Nahida's performance a little bit as a Dendro off-field Dendro player. I don't know why I said Dendro twice there. It might genuinely be worth it for me, just as a way for me not to use Nahida. If it increases the number of teams that he feels like he functions in, then I don't know. Right, so like the context of this team, it means he would generate slightly more Bloom cores, for example, potentially. So, anyways, and like it's not enough of a Dendro application increase to like interfere with like the. It's not like it takes his Dendro application to the point of like, oh no, now it's hard to swirl Electro like Nahida has, right? Like, that still wouldn't be a problem. So, I don't know. Anyways, this is an interesting team. I think I might try to show this in the Lynette video. So C6 Lynette video, and like it's not going to be the primary focus, I think, but mostly just as like a reaction engine, right? Or reaction engine that also gets value from the damage bonus, for not just Lynette but also Official, right? Fish, Farina, Lynette, and then the other one is obviously showing Plunge. So what about non-Plunge? Just all talent DPS non-Plunge, right? So put her back on. That's the last one. I wanna figure out a team I like that's not Plunge and with DPS, which might just be. I don't know. Let's switch her back to this. Okay, back to the attack percent timepiece. Okay, there we go. Oops. Thoughts on plunge Kave is probably the main way to actually make Kave feel good. But genuinely, like, the fact that you can do plunge Kave and you can put, like what I did with my video, where I put Farina on an EM build, the idea was to actually lean into Kave's like triggering blooms. So every 6 seconds you get a skill and his burst activation too, where he triggers those blooms. Like the damage dealt from the blooms is determined based on whoever triggered the bloom generation, not Kave's activation of them. Kave just increases the damage they deal. So putting Farina on a full EM build genuinely worked pretty well. So I did Cloud Retainer, Farina, Kave, Nahida, and it genuinely felt pretty good, and I liked it a lot. And it was actually a way to like lean into his kit that I thought made sense. Cloud Retainer just feels necessary because it's the only way to like give value to his infusion. Because we don't have like good normal attack charge attack buffers in the game. Literally like no charge attack buffers in the game. So I was farming a little bit ago to finish leveling up Lynette, and now I am testing Lynette things for the remainder of the stream at this point. I should do my exploration actually, because like now that I finished leveling Lynette, I have no resources for like Sathos, for example, or any other characters I want to level. But anywho's, I might say I don't know. I want to make the C6 Candace with Arlecchino video, which I'm sure other people made videos on it already, but I'm still going to do it myself, because how can I, as a Candace enjoyer, not make a C6 Candace and Arlecchino video? But, so I want to make that this weekend, and I think I want to make the Lynette video this weekend too, simply because, just to get it out before the banner ends. I don't know. I don't even think the video's going to perform that well, because I don't think that many people care about Lynette, sadly. So yeah, let's see what can I do. So using Farazan, obviously, and the C6 Bennett problem is unfortunate, because like I would just Bennett, Farazan, and Lynette, and that's probably enough. But the C6 Bennett invalidates doing that. So here, first of all, I'll just put Farazan here.
The help of an elder, huh?
Like, oh man, it kind of sucks that the only real option feels like it's Farina and Farazan. I don't think I really have a choice. I think it's just going to have to be a Farina Farazan, but not plunge variation, right? Which means I still need a healer, right? Which means, who do I use as a healer? Go with me. No, I refuse. Man. The only real option is Cloud Retainer. It's just like arbitrarily making the team worse just because of like, Cloud Retainer. There's no other healer in the game that like does meaningful like buffing, right? That's part of the problem I'm encountering here is like, I can't use Bennett. So, I don't know, maybe I just don't use Farina, maybe I just use Yolanda instead. Try that.
It's time to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Then we don't have to worry about the fact that there's no healer, obviously. Strange Show might make more sense for a defensive utility. Dory? I don't have Dory leveled. She's also a not great healer without C6 and being able to do her team-wide heal on some normal attacks. I think I could do Jean, I guess. The idea would be to do Farina instead, Farina Jean, and then Jean could just, do her healing and then swirl for Farina at least to buff Farina's damage. But I think that seems more boring than doing this, so let's try this. This is more fragile, though, than just doing, like, a Farina healer team, right? Is the downside. But might be more fun. So, we'll see. Also see, this also is worth testing for seeing if just Farazan's energy is enough for Lynette. I'm gonna guess no, with a 70 cost burst and 105 year, I'm gonna guess no. But we'll see. Also, I should power down Yulon. Wait, she might already be powered. Wait, she's already powered down. I don't know why she has these. Okay. Yeah, she's powered down enough already. Okay. You know what? She should be on elegy instead, though. As far as I will trigger fat more reliably. It's fine.
Take it easy.
She needs to be nerfed anyways. The constellations will basically still probably put, like... Actually, no. Okay. This is probably going to be... Even with the constellations, this is going to be worse than a C0 Yulon's damage, but it's fine. Okie dokie.
Let's do this
Oh, you know what?
thing.
I kind of want
Over here.
energy on Lynette.
Guys,
Oh boy, it's going to take... Oh my god, her energy needs are stupid.
Take it easy.
Okay, let's just go refill the Hydro Mage or whatever. Try her not leveled up and just give her HP and EM. I mean, Dory would be interesting in the Dory is an interesting character with the weird electro line thing going on. I made a video like with Binge right a while ago with Dory. She's an interesting character. It's just I hate one. I really hate the lowly characters, and two, on a design level, and then two,
over here.
I don't think she's good enough for what my constellation is to level her. And I don't think it'll really. I don't know. The problem is that Dory is going to be the one that's going to like trigger like hyper blooms, right? Not Lynette. I mean, Lynette might trigger some, but Dory is also going to trigger some from her line connection thing. So, anywho's, yeah. I don't know. She's a weird character. She's interesting, but sorry, Binge. I'm a bit of a Dory hater because she's a lowly model.
Too late for regrets.
Really? Just let me charge attack you. No. I attack that.
Over here.
Oh, she already have it back. What am I doing? Dory's made for co-op. Yeah. Kind of. Okay. Let's see how this goes. If this team feels good enough... okay, you know what? Let's put Yulon on the artifacts. Oh, you know why she's probably screwed up? She's probably screwed up because I was like working on equipping Beto. That's probably why. But I should be able to get her back on Emblem. But I am going to put her on... To be clear, I am going to nerf her. I'm going to put her on attack percent timepiece. And I'm going to put her on her defense percent circlet, right? In my testing before, this brings Yulon's... Right, so attack timepiece, def circlet on this emblem build brings Yulon's damage down to similar to what a C0 emblem Yulon does. But she still does have like her C2, right? That's doing additional damage. Sorry, a little bit additional damage, yes, but more importantly, additional Hydra application, which is relevant sometimes. In this team, the additional Hydra application isn't that relevant. But she's just here because like Yulon's giving damage bonus, and she's doing Hydro, which is going to trigger at least some more electro charges, which means more official damage. And Farazan should 1,000,000% by the way be on VV in this team instead of Tenacity. Whatever, it's fine. I'll just keep her on buffing Lynette duty. Okay, let's do
this thing.
Yeah, let's do this.
Quiet now. Here comes the cat. Gotcha.
Oz, reveal. Use the spotlight. Zip on us.
Where are you? Miss 50k. Okay. Okay, Yulon apparently does not have enough ER. Great, of course.
Have fun with this gift.
Actually, no, but with the Fab Rock she should, yeah.
Quiet.
And we're stuck in the trees because that's how fighting Liam B. Okay, yeah, she needs more ER.
Let's begin. Over here.
I miss with her skill. Alright, I like this team. Yeah, okay.
Busted.
And the nice thing with Yelan and Xingqiu existing is that, you know, this team, with an invested Xingqiu compared to his invested Yelan, invested C6 Xingqiu, compared to an invested Yelan, it should be pretty similar. And Xingqiu would be better in some cases. Alright, so the last thing to test now, I think I'm gonna, okay, so in my video, I think I'll probably show, you know, the reaction engine, weird Baiju, Lynette version. I'll show plunge, because, again, realistically, it's just gonna be the best way. Then I'll show this variation too, which is an interesting option, so. And then Yelan, it's good enough that it's worth doing, I think. You don't see insane damage from her or anything, but the team damage is still more than competent enough. And you still see occasionally decent numbers from her. Remember, she's getting like some damage from her infusing like electro or whatever too, from the vivid shots, which is not that significant, but it's something. So the question is, how much ER does she need? Ooh. I would bet probably in the 140 range, even with Farazan, which is a bit oof. And the question is, do I even have the ability to do that? That has no crit damage. This has no crit damage. That has no ER. I don't think I have the fodder. Oh, I do have this. Okay. If this is a weird piece. Don't throw away artifacts like these. It has 0 dead stats. I just couldn't imagine a situation where I actually want to use it because I have something else that has very similar stat value, but in a spread that I prefer. If this rolls ER. No. I mean, I should probably keep that actually still, considering. I mean, if this rolls, well, it's just down to like whichever one of these artifacts roll more into crit damage and attack, they're better, right? But screw this piece, it insulted me, it's going in the garbage. Okay. I don't know, let's just try her with the one artifact swapped, I suppose. So let's try her with 122 ER. I don't think that's going to be enough. But it might be. Actually, no, let's try her with, also with the, this, I guess. Yeah, try her with that. That's going to be so much less, oof, that's a bit less crit rate, but hey, there you go. Okay, so 127 ER, a little bit less attack. Let's go refill our energy first. Only problem with Dory is that Dory exists. True. Alright, how much does one skill fill you up? That's a decent amount, so that means like 2 skills. Yeah, 2 skills probably fills her up about half. Okay. So if the rest of the teammates can get the other half of her energy for her at 127 ER for her, that'd be fine. Like I think the 130 range, 130 is where it tops out, where like I get frustrated having to build like crit DPSs if they have more than 100, like more than 130 ER needs, right? Because then we're at the point, right, where like this feather with 2 ER rolls, this with 3 ER rolls, and you know, well that no, the circlet doesn't have any ER, and then nothing else is not enough. Like now I'm gonna have to need like, I don't know, like an attack percentile piece, which I think I have one that just like I'd have to. I thought I had an attack percentile piece that I was gonna work on leveling up that had ER on it. It was like ER, or it was attack percent crit damage ER. No, I lied. Oh, it must have been this one. Yeah. So like, I'd have to level up something like this, right? And or swap to something even like really cope, like you know this kind of artifact. When characters start having, I mean, this is not that cope to be clear. It has very high stat value if you need the ER, but it's just annoying. And in the case of Lynette, since she doesn't, with her C6, she doesn't technically need the ER. I don't think I'd overly prioritize it. If this is not enough ER, in this team, right, where I have Fav, LG on her, Fav on one character, and I could use 2 Favs, I guess, to be clear. That would potentially solve the issue too, using Fav on Yulon. But yeah. Anywho's, let's see how it goes. Yeah, some pieces feel insulting to use, yeah. And that's what I dislike about characters that end up having in the 140 ER range of ER needs, is because you start to having to use the pieces that just feel like I shouldn't have to use these. And it's just Mihoyo screwed over this character kind of thing. But that might be where Lynette ends up, even with C6 Farazan, right? And without C6 Farazan, oof. 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 Anywho's. Hello.
Let's do this thing.
I should have bursted before to catch those particles in Yulon, but
Cue the spotlight. Zip on up.
I maybe should start with Lynette.
Over here.
Having a stroke. Lynette burst instead, but
Here comes the test.
Midnight.
okay, it was enough.
Zip on up.
Where are you?
Surprise.
Alright. I like this team, yeah. And she doesn't quite have her burst back, but by the time we use, you know, right, we use Farazan again, we use you, we use you.
Over here.
Yeah, she has her burst back, right? So. Sweet. Good to know. Okay. Alright, so that was enough. And that team performs pretty well, right? I like it. I like this team. It's probably my favorite one, because, like, again, Plunge is probably better, but as far as getting the most value out of her infusion. But this feels more fun. So, question, chat. You know what? I'll just let you decide. Skill. We're not going to level up her burst talent. That's too boring. Her burst talent is not that noticeable as far as like seeing the damage from it. Start a poll. Which Lynette talent to level 8? So my thinking is like normal attack or skill. My thinking is the normal attack talent. There we go. Poll started. The normal attack talent, right? If you saw like in this team, for example, we were only getting like I think 8 to 9k on her normal attacks. I don't know if leveling her normal attack to level 10 would take that to, you know, oh, now this is 10k. Like if it does take it from, you know, getting 8.5k to 10k on crits, then absolutely it's worth it to take normal attacks to 10. Skill is more worthwhile in the sense of it'll let us see a bigger number occasionally, right? Because if we'll go from like probably 450 to like 500 and some percent, right? But normal attack, right, might let us start seeing like 10k. And if I start seeing 10ks from her normal attacks, that makes her normal attacks, even though it doesn't functionally make that much of a difference, it makes her normal attacks feel more satisfying, right? And her charge attack multiplier, by the way, is relatively similar to some of her normal attacks. So obviously her 3-hit damage is never going to hit 10k without Farina shenanigans and whatever. But right, if we can get these like 60% multiplier ones to like consistent 10k, I'd be satisfied. Like particularly her first hit, right? If in her first normal attack hit she gets that'd be satisfying. Also, I like the idea of normal attack spamming with her more, I think. Particularly in this team. Versus charge attacking. Even though charge attacking is probably better, especially for like trying to trigger more swirls or whatever. But I like her final normal attack. I just like the final animation. Oh my gosh, it's about even. So like I don't know. Like this is why I'm polling. I don't know what to do, but it looks like we're probably doing normal attack. That's fine. I honestly think I feel like I might feel more perceptual value from normal attack versus the skill. I think also people like watching the video might also prefer that as well. So I think I'm done with that. Reason being just because like, you know, having it be having because these are level 9 right from the constellations. So having it be 8, 9, 9 feels more balanced than having like 6, 11, 9, right? That's what it feels like to me. But good lord, it's like exactly 50-50. So, I mean, it's basically exactly 50-50, which means it's coming down to like literally 1 or 2 votes right now. There's only 44 votes, so if you're watching and like have the YouTube app playing in the background or whatever on your computer or phone, go do the poll right now for me, please. Try to sway the poll. Normal attacks or skill? I'm leaning towards normal attacks, but it's if it stays at like the 50, like, oh, now it's 54%. If it stays at like this almost exactly 50-50, I'm just gonna do normal attacks because that's my preference. But anyways, please loot the chest. What chest? That one? No, I mean I do need to loot that one. There's 3 of them over there actually. I'll loot this one though. I'll loot the challenge over here. I am new here. What's up? Voting on a poll for leveling up talents on Lynette, because I only have enough materials for before I make a video on Lynette to level up either her normal attack talent or her. I have C6 Lynette, her normal attack talent or her whatever talent. I think normal attack also makes more sense in the context of plunge too. I don't know if it'll enable us to get over 100k, but if it does, that would be nice. What? Actually, which element is? I think she's Ojia, so I didn't need to grab that actually, but it's fine. And this one. Yeah. Help! I was watching on my Swatch. Your Swatch? What is a Swatch? I'm sorry. I mean, if it was like detrimental to your life, I wasn't saying you'd have to. I'm just saying it was exactly 50-50, and there was like 100 more people that theoretically could vote. That's why. Anywho's, no, this account is definitely not free to play. I would probably properly consider this account Dolphin, realistically. The first year I played, I made a lot of I made a lot of regrets as far as money spent that was dumb. For to be clear, this is something I did for YouTube because my YouTube channel popped off. I was like, hey, if we get 5,000 subscribers by the time Yolon's banner ends, I'll do this. And then I did, and I did it, and that was dumb. And that is why Yolon is forever powered down, because I hate it. I really dislike it. I wish I could turn it off. Yeah, I still have to act, even with her powered down, I have to actively avoid using her C6.
No.
So, yeah.
Here comes the test. Busted.
Have fun with this gift.
Yeah, I love official electrocharge teams. They always feel pretty good. It's just lots of numbers going on. It feels satisfying to me.
Just as I expected.
All right, what's the poll at now? 65 votes with 52% of normal attack. Okay. I'm just gonna end the poll. You guys voted normal attacks. I'm leading normal attacks. The second year, by the way, I did a lot better non-spending in Genshin. Sorry, my ranges are derailed back to the rail that I was on before. Yeah, I'm like, I did better like the second year, not spending much money in Genshin, which was last year, and then now recently I've been spending more money in Genshin again, but that's because now I have transitioned to there's business need. Like I spent money. Like I hadn't. I think I spent mostly just money on like Welkins and battle passes for nearly a year straight, except for like I think the buying like one top up once, which was much healthier than my first year. I don't remember what it was on, what it was for, but anyways, point is like for a year I only like spent $200-ish I think on the game, 200, 300 at most, and then start of this year, the Farazan Shenyun banner happened, and I was like, frick. I made mistakes. If this was going to happen, I should not have spent all of the wishes I had saved. Like, I was able to get C2 Farina without spending a single penny. That's cool. And I'm glad that I didn't spend money on that. But it indirectly caused me to have to spend money for Farazan. And I had a business need for Farazan, so I spent money for that. And then I've now since realized that people like watching videos where I gamble real money. And so now I'm probably going to keep on spending money, but it's not going to be because I actually want to spend money. It's going to be because it's for the business. It's just like a business decision at this point. So, you know, I've never tried to have my main account be relatable. I tried to have my main account, as far as in videos, be a representation of like things you can do. Like if you want to, you know, you really love Lynette, you want to do your utmost at using Lynette in different ways. That's my goal, is to show that like that's possible, to just DPS your Lynette and have fun with her, right? That's kind of it. So, anywho's, oh yeah, normal attack talent. You guys voted. I say normal attack talent is probably, it feels like it'll probably be more relevant, so we're doing normal attack talent. Also, I just realized I don't even have enough for level 8. So this was pointless. Okay. Is there any reason, because it... Frick. 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 I feel like you shouldn't feel bad about spending money since you make fun content. Yeah, well, I mean, it being a write-off is like, it just means it reduces the amount of taxable income I have slightly. It's not that significant. For example, the $300 I spent. The reason I knew I spent $300 last year, by the way, was because I was reporting taxable income to for doing my taxes this year, and I reported about $300, but that was actually between polearms only and my main account. So yeah, I only spent like $300 between two accounts. That's with both of them buying Welkins and my main account buying at least, you know, 6 battle passes, I think. 6 out of 8 battle passes for the year. And then a couple tops. So, like, I did good last year, last fiscal year. And this year has been bad. But now it's just business decision for me. And yeah, like, I have ceased trying to make my, like, because the fact of the matter is, like, regardless of the money I spent, my account is not relatable to a lot of players because of the time that I have spent playing the game, right? Like, the biggest measure of, like, account progress for Genshin is this, right? This takes so much time to build up, and like having a variety of options to like equip your characters with different stuff, and just having the characters, then also just having flexibility for having like the different supports, right? Like I'd say there's a lot less reason, for example, for people to pull Yelan now, but you know, I have Yelan still because I've just played the game for a long time. And I can, like, that gives me the option of using Yelan instead of Farina if I want a Hydro unit that does a little bit of damage bonus, right? She's a minor buffer and a damage dealer of her own. So, anywho's, yeah, like, it's impossible to relate any one Genshin account to any other Genshin account at a baseline if they're not, like, relatively close in age to each other. And not only in age, but also in, like because age isn't just it, it's also age in, like my account is a little bit over 2 years old at this point, this account, and I have logged in most days of the week, right? Not like there's been times where I was on vacation, I didn't bother logging in or whatever, so it's not every freaking day, but probably a good like 99% of days of the last 2 years I have logged in and like condensed my resin at minimum and like use it the next day, right? So like the resin spent is 2 years of resin, not like just the account being 2 years old. Whereas someone that like has played the game for 2 years but only logged in 3 times a week functionally has spent half of the resin that I have, right? So someone can have the same age account as I have but still have like the equivalence of a year-old account that farmed every day, right? So it depends on how much you logged in and how long you played, and how much money you spent does obviously affect the number of 5 stars, but the money I have spent has not really affected the number of 5-star characters I've acquired, but it has affected a little bit of the weapons that I have, Like there was some money spent. Like I wouldn't have lo-fi if I didn't spend money, for example. This was dumb, but hey, it's coming in useful for the Lynette video. So you know, in a sense, I don't regret that, I guess. And whatever else, right? Like, by the way, a surprisingly high number of these weapons are not me spending money. I know it looks like I've spent a lot of money with how many 5-star weapons I have. A lot of them are just stupid mistakes. that wishing on their banner, right? Like like I got this from the Shan Yun banner, and I got this from I forgot which. I think it was actually I was actually trying to get Nahida's weapon at that time. I think maybe this was on Nahida's banner, and my friends egged me on. And they're like, oh, you're so freaking lucky, blah, blah, blah. Because I won a 50-50, or they're thinking I'm lucky because I won a freaking coin flip, right? Like, yeah, it is good that I won a 50-50, but it's like, it's a freaking 50-50. It's not that lucky. Anyways, they egged me on, and I was like, to prove it, here, I'm going to go wish on the weapon banner. That was dumb, right? So I've had a lot of instances of spending too much wishes on the weapon banner, and also a lot of instances of getting surprisingly lucky on the weapon banner. And that's why I have all these 5-star weapons. So, anywho's, the only things I really have made mistakes spending-wise has been a couple weapons that I wouldn't have otherwise, and then, like, constellations, which I usually just try to, for my videos, I usually just try to power these characters down, or, like, Elon, I just leave powered down permanently. So, anywho's, I don't think I can level, I think that poll was pointless. Because I don't think I can even level Lynette's talent past level 6. So I'm just going to have to say in the video, well, I can't do it because I don't have any more resources. And if I wanted this video to come out before the banner ended, I had to make it now. So anyone complaining about talent levels in the video will probably just have to deal with it. Because I don't think there's a rat's chance in heck that... they're not even showing up here yet. Because, yeah, I'd have to, like... try to use Yai's thing to convert my other talent materials over, and like there's a very small chance I could get enough to get 2 more golds of the philosophies of order or whatever. Or I guess I could go and try to maybe the fountain, maybe if I get lucky the fountain has it, or oh wait, the event, maybe the event has some things of order. But I was not reading chat. I was talking about things I read in I was talking about things I read in chat a little bit ago. I was just continuing it. Anywho's. I guess it was in the past, but just because stuff was in the past doesn't mean I wasn't talking about things from chat. Justice. Oh, there is. Oh, frick me. Okay, well. I've already been streaming for 3 hours. I'm not going to do that but I'm probably going to do that before I record the video. I was going to record it, like, today or tomorrow, but I can do a little bit of exploration in Fontaine. Wait. You get a key from here. I already have 35 sigils. Oh, okay. I might be able to just get this basically immediately. Okay. So that's fine. I can get it level 8 normal attack talents. Let's go. Honestly, part of me would rather, like, maybe pretend I didn't see that. And just save these. Because I would kind of like to, I would kind of like to just be done with Arlecchino, right? And I could be done with Arlecchino by leveling her normal attack to 10. Like, I don't plan on leveling her skill and burst past level 6. And if I level her normal attack to 10, I'm never, obviously don't need to touch her talents ever again. So it would be nice to just save the resources for that. So I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll think about what I actually care about. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to increase her DPS to a degree that's actually relevant. So I don't know. I got to think about it. I feel like I'd rather kind of have the materials for her normal attack talent. But anywho's. Rat's chance in heck. Well, sorry. I can say hell, but I just say heck because heck is a funnier word than hell, right? Like, what the heck you doing? Heck. Like, it's just a more fun word to say. Heck. I don't know. I just like heck more. It's a better word. Anyways, so I don't really feel the need to censor hell personally. Anyways, do a review for your account. Why? Why? Based. why are you using this weird hybrid build? And then I would talk, like, if I was going to review my account, there'd be 5 minutes of talking about hybrid riding. Why? Not why, because I didn't spend money for it, and it feels much better when I didn't spend money for it. Why? What? Apparently she has some artifacts equipped. This is not a build I actually use on her. Just what she ended up getting swapped to by accident. Anyways. Your Mora got a little lower. Yeah, that's why I'm like thinking I don't want to use the yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm thinking I don't want to, like, if I want to crown Arlecchino's talent, I have 1.4 million Mora. If I use, you know, it's going to cost, right, it costs 120,000 for the next level up. And then it costs, I think, 260,000 for that. So that's like 400,000 Mora there, right? I go down to a million Mora. If I intend to still crown Arlecchino's talent, like normal type talent, I'm going to have to farm, you know, 16 more of these instead of only having to farm 6 more of them. And I'm going to go down to like 300,000 more functionally, ignoring any more I'll gain from the event and whatever. So, like, also there was a Hydra thing here, wasn't there? It's just like, as far as resources go, I think I'm just going to go with the excuse of, I think I might just use the excuse of I can't do it right now because of resources. And anyone watching the video will just have to deal. It's not going to meaningfully change the team DPS. And if they want to prove it does, they can do the math themselves. I feel like there's an order to this that I might have just screwed up. Is there 4 pillars? I only see 3 pillars. Oh, there is 4 pillars. Ah, frick. Okay. Well, bear with me. Okay.
Take it easy.
This is number 1. That's number 3. 2. Wait, what? How did that one get activated over there? How did that one get activated? Why? Why? What? Why is this one getting activated after? Why, Elon? Why? I know I'm I was counting the tree stumps and the pine cones indicate that. That's not the problem. The problem, like, I do have a brain. The problem is that for some reason Elon's charge attack was activating it after they deactivated it again. So I couldn't get it deactivated. So as always, Candace is better. All right. God forbid you use a bow character that can just charge attack things. No, because for some reason her charge shot triggers it twice. All right, number 2 is over here. Good lord. Do number 1 last. I mean, yes, I could have done that, but that's really dumb. Where are you going? No. Am I supposed to get there? Am I supposed to move something else here? Really? I don't see anything else. Oh, there, okay. What, do I have to put out the fire here? Okay, no, I'm lazy. Just, okay. Tedious. Okay, anything I missed in chat while I wait 10 years for this to come? Where'd it go? What? Oh, there it is. Who's your strongest DPS? Is there another one? Oh, it's over here. Oh my god. Why is there so many steps to this puzzle? This is so many steps for one friggin' Oculus. This better give me a chest at the end of this mess here.
By royal decree, truth repeats its course.
So annoying. Ow. Might as well get this. This is what I came here for in the first place. Good lord. Strongest DPS is a weird question. It's like, it's a question of who I feel like making the strongest. Did I just get Philosophies of Order? I did. Uh-oh. The game's trying to make me have no excuse for the video. I gotta make sure I don't get 10 for the video. Because if I have 10 for the video, I have no excuse anymore. They're just gonna be like, level it up. Anyways, was that instructor's piece? Always check your instructor's pieces. Do I already have an HP piece with ER? That could roll ER on the last line. Healing bonus, HP, ER. Yeah, okay. No, screw that piece. I should check out the Exiles piece too, to be honest. Lowered the world level 5, level 6 is too high. I mean, yeah. I've never had to lower the world level after. Yes, thank you. Okay, good. You gave me a chest. It was all worthwhile. Good.
That was worth the trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel bad about lowering the world level if you're a newer player. Okie dokie. Yeah, alright. I think that's all I got for this stream. I will probably not be streaming tomorrow. I think. Yeah, probably not. Realistically, I'm gonna have to spend more time editing tomorrow. I don't want to tire myself out by talking for 3-4 hours or whatever. So why check instructors? Because it's one of the strongest artifact sets in the game. 120 EM is a lot of EM, and like it can be the difference maker between, you know, you doing like say the 150k on a vape with your Arlecchino versus 200k. Like for example, Candace with Arlecchino theoretically could be better on instructors for buffing Arlecchino more. It's just reaching Candace's ER needs of instructors is a bit of a pain. And I prefer just having Candace on a tankier build so that I can use her for defensive utility with Arlecchino personally. But as an example of like as far as damage value goes, really good. One of the most common units to put instructors on in a lot of teams, instructors is Ben's best artifact set. I'm not joking. Like, man, the amount of comments that I've seen when I've had Bennett on instructors and videos, and people are like, why is your Bennett on 4-star artifacts? Like, oh my, like it's the #1 signal of someone that, like, it's fine to be clear, you don't have to know a crap ton about the game, but it's the #1 signal of like, you do not know that much about the game. if you don't know why Bennett is on instructors sometimes. It can be clunky sometimes. A lot of times. I really wish there was a 5-star version of this artifact set. Its biggest problem is that, you know, you need ER. So, yes. Anywho's. How people decided to call vapes like disposals, because every time Luna talks about reactions, my mom is in the room thinking I'm educating myself about nicotine. No, talking about vapes is in vaporize. So, if your mom thinks that, you can just educate her in turn. Show her some video. I think there's videos people have made about like the lingo in the Genshin community, and then you show her that video, and she'll understand. And if she doesn't want to watch that video, your mom's a... I shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm going to anyways. I'll be nice and say your mom's not a very understanding person if she's not even willing to watch a video that you provide to her to help her understand the lingo of a community you're part of, right? That's the nice way to say it. The mean way to say it is she's an So anyways, I'm sure your mom's perfectly nice person. My point is like, if your mom thinks you're just listening to someone talking about smoking or whatever, the solution to that is communication. Talk to your mom. And generally speaking, people are willing to talk to each other, particularly people that already have an inherently closer relationship to each other. And so as long as your mom is not a terrible mother, which I'm guessing she's not, because most mothers are not.
Who's
Some
the
are.
target this time?
She'll probably be willing to listen to what you would say and what you would show her about, like, yep, here's a video, here's all the frickin' nonsensical terms that this gaming community uses to talk about all the ridiculous things you can do in this game. Your mom would beat me. Okay. Well, yep, okay.
Oz, reveal the...
I love Fischl for Overworld. Like, so, like, Fischl, by the way, like, you know, I talked about earlier how Lynette has the problem of she doesn't do that much damage if you just, like, if you don't, like, use your burst on Faruzon or your Farina, like, if I, like with the Cloud Retainer team. Fischl, instead of, like, just kind of fixes that problem instead. Because you just, you know, press E on Fischl, press E on Lynette, and start whacking a little bit. Just the swirls you're causing will cause Fischl to get enough extra damage to deal with most, like, trash overworld mobs very quickly. And that's much more convenient than having to do, you know, burst on Faruzon, burst on Farina, burst on Cloud Retainer, or just some mix of them, right? Like, you get the point. It's just quite nice, right? So, well, okay, he's gonna die if I cast this on him, but, right, I could do... There you go. I was only procced once because it was a little bit out of range, but I wanted to make sure the cast didn't... There we go. So, anyways. Skill-based damage is nice in Overworld, and it's... with C6 Lynette, it should be relatively easy to do something to make her feel good in Overworld. And my suggestion would be Fischl. And to a significant degree, that's just Fischl feeling great in Overworld, but, you know. If Fischl helps your other units feel good while you're attacking with them, that's a good thing. It is doing something with Lynette's infusion, right? How about Yai instead of Fischl? I mean, Yai takes longer and doesn't have the aspect of doing extra damage as soon as you trigger a reaction, right? Now, Yai's damage just happens at its intervals that it happens at. Yai doesn't get extra damage from triggering an electro reaction. Fischl does. So, you know. See? I did a Animo attack on him when he had Electro. That triggered Fischl's A4, so he got attacked again. Whereas with Yai, it's just like doot, 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 doot. It's just the periodic zaps of damage. Like, Yai's gonna feel good in Overworld too, to be clear. I'm just saying, Fischl has the synergy with her more. Like, as much as I like Yai, I kind of have to begrudgingly admit Fischl's definitely a better character. And Fischl's the #1 reason there's not a ton of reason to pull for Yai. Unless you just like her. Nice, first try.
Piece of cake.
Also, you know what? This team is also really good for Overworld because of just, you know, you have running ability on her. And you can do that twice, of course, with her C6, or with her C4, sorry. And then you also have Yulon. So, this is a good movement world. This is a good Overworld team, and I think it's a Abyss-worthy team. You know, I guess to end the stream before I end, we should go to the Abyss real quick. I see you forgot about A4. You forgot about it? Oh, I forgot about A4. I see. You corrected yourself. Okay. But yeah. Cloud Retainer Farina is realistically the best one if you want to just see the biggest numbers possible out of Lynette. But I think I like this team a little bit more, personally. I feel like this makes more use out of her actual kit and lets you still see some decent numbers from her. But I'm also someone who's far more inclined towards just reaction engine teams. By the way, anyone who's like complained about, you know, the fact that I use Cloud Retainer in my videos, have you seen how much I use Fischl? I use her so often. I probably have to do these both at once. No. There we go. I thought I was getting an Oculus. Oh wait, I already got the Oculus. Oh, okay. No, I don't need to do this right now. Let's go to the Abyss quick to end off the stream. Okay, okay. I'm not gonna do a full abyss or anything, by the way. Why did I have a hydro shield?
For spacing out.
Oh, is it from the crab? Weird. Okay. I'm gonna go. Just do the first chamber, I guess. We'll see how that goes. First chamber is gonna be ooh. Okay, actually, this team without any. I mean, technically it has healing on Lynette, but that's just HP neutral healing. Okay, first chamber is gonna be a bit iffy. We're gonna do it anyways. Just as a showing, it functions. That's all. The damage, at least. We'll see how everything else. So you, and you. So chamber 2 would probably be better for this team. Does this team have the elemental coverage to deal with the Baptist? This is probably not a very good abyss for this character. Hydro gets through Pyro, the Electro gets through the... I don't think... yeah, this is a really terrible abyss for Lynette. Okay, I'll have to mention that in the video as well. Terrible abyss for Lynette. To be clear, this is a terrible abyss for Animo DPS in general, I think. Which is probably a bit rough for anyone trying to get Wander soon. Alright, I'm not going to try to group him in any particular way. Try to iframe those, though.
Odds revealed. Be amazed. Over here. Have fun with this gift. To live for regret.
Game's up. Runs over. Busted.
Wings of darkness. Let the magic begin. Step on us.
Oh, God. Yep, the kinkies. Okay.
Over here.
This is definitely a context wherein Xingqiu would probably make... An invested Xingqiu would probably make more sense. Oh, God. Oh, God. No. I haven't died yet, for what it's worth.
Gotcha.
Years of the storm.
Okay.
A scholar's journey. Shouldn't. Let the magic begin.
Ow. Ow. Okay, well. You saw the damage at least. Here, let me... And then now we get to see... I mean, actually, you know, this is a situation of one of the weird examples where, like, yeah, Cloud Retainer's buff doesn't apply in AoE, but you still usually get meaningful enough AoE that it works. But let's compare Cloud Retainer in particular, because the interesting thing is, like, plunging, especially against the Manga Kenkis here, is a pretty significant form of damage or damage avoidance. I would say. I don't know what they do. All these characters have like 18-second buff duration, so it doesn't even matter which one I do first. Actually, no, I do Cloud Retainer after Freena, obviously. But anywho's, let's try plunge quick. So I'm trying to think, like, I want to use that team. I'll probably just have to mostly focus on the freaking local legends or whatever. I'll probably go and unlock the Vishaps for the Lynette video as well in Remuria, so I can show it there. Because, yeah, this is just not a good abyss for, like, I don't think I can... Because, like, even like, this team would have a problem, like, against Coppelius with the Cryo Shield, right? So, yeah, I don't know. The elemental requirements on, like, the second side, and then the Pyro, the Cryo Shield on the second chamber for the first side is annoying. And then the Magu Kenkis are annoying. So... I should have done Arena first. Whatever. It's fine. Ow. Ow. Oh boy, I scuffed that so hard. I didn't skill. Whoops.
Zip on up.
I've got cryo on me, so the plunges are being annoyingly slow.
Time to shine.
Seize the sky.
Have fun with this gift.
Also, this is animal resistant. Also, the freaking Coppelius is animal resistant too. Wow. This is just an absolute FU to Wanderer, isn't it? What a terrible abyss for Animo DPSing, honestly. Which in some sense that actually does show more reason to do, you know, this team, right? Because it has more than just, it diversifies the team damage quite a bit versus just doing Animo damage. But the shields, the electro shields, just gonna kind of be like too hard to get through. Like I get through the Pyro shield without a problem. And the Baptists, right, with the official Elan team. The Cryo shield might be fine too with official, but then obviously the Electro shield is just like, I don't know. Like it might be fine, but like, and the same thing like the dudes at the end of the second chamber, the Electors. So like, realistically, I don't think I'm gonna be able to use like any variation of the Lynette team fully through. Because this abyss is just so bad for Animo. So that's fine. I don't know, that's fine. The video will still show the teams working. I'll try to unlock the Vishaps to show the teams in AoE, and then I'll do obviously the local legends to show the teams in single target. So it'll be fine. That's all I really care about, is showing the teams functioning, that they're dealing damage. The local legends, as annoying and jank as they are to fight sometimes for testing purposes, still show like, you know, general damage performance well enough. But anywho's. There you go. So I'll probably have a DPS Lynette video this week, since we were able to finish the farming for her. She is obviously good enough, and you know, again, shows as always, it shows that like with the right supportive units, you can make a competent DPS unit. And it's nice that I found a couple different teams that make her feel good. And if you have Bennett that's not C6, it doesn't interfere with her infusion. So you can do stuff with Bennett too, of course. Like she has a decently high number of supportive teammate options to make her feel usable, right? Which is nice. And yeah, obviously this is a pretty higher investment, Lynette though. But I really don't think her weapon is that important, especially for this team. It's not nearly as relevant. I think you could put in an attack percent weapon like yeah, honestly, Aminoma Kageuchi might be fine. Or what's it called? I mean, the Battle Pass weapons would be fine too. This would actually potentially work pretty well in this team when you know they have Electro on them from official most of the time, right? So, anywho's, she's got the new weapon, whatever, the new Fontaine weapon, because that should be pretty good, because it gives you damage bonus after, or no, I think it's a Bond of Life one, right? So you have to clear the bond, which would mean you would probably want an additional healer, which would potentially push you towards like the Farina plunge variations or whatever, but anyways, or other variations with a healer. But point is, I don't think lo-fi is necessary, and I don't even think it's that much better than other options. So what does it do exactly? Yeah, Finale of the Deep, that's what it's called. Yeah, when using an elemental skill, attack is increased, and then the Bond of Life happens, and you get even more of an attack increase. Like, yeah, this provides a lot of potential stats if you can clear the Bond of Life. And she can clear her own Bond of Life, by the way, with her inbuilt healing, but that would make her a little bit HP negative. So, yeah. Anywho's, that's all I got for Lynette. We'll see if it might be one of the I don't know. Like I said in the previous stream, I might be transitioning to doing less edited videos per week. And I'll still make edited videos for like, I think I'll still try to make one edited video per week, but I think the idea would be transitioning to do more of the stuff that I know people are going to watch, like that people seem to watch for my videos, even if I care about them less personally, which is stuff like the account fixing videos, right? I should be, for how popular those videos are, I should be making a lot more of those videos as far as business sense goes. And then stuff like, you know, DPS Lynette, you know, I want to do, but I think I want to have a stronger like video concept for these kinds of videos than just how good is DPS Lynette kind of thing. For example, the Kave video was a little bit of a like Kave video was the same thing, but structured like the format was a little bit different because it was like, you know, this character hasn't been rerunning freaking forever. I'm gonna build him anyways, right? Because like Hoyoverse hates him. I'm gonna try to show some enjoyment of him, right? So like the concept was a little bit different, and then I leaned into his kit a little bit differently, and like tweaked other teammates around. So like, I don't know. The gimmick of that video was a little bit different, even if it was the core same idea. Is my point. So I don't know. Might be less of these DPSing 4-star videos is my point. But I still enjoy making them. So, you know, if I have one I want to make, I'll still make them, right? It's just if they don't perform very well, they're not that worth doing. Anywho's, did my chat stop updating? I think my chat stopped updating, by the way. If anyone was concerned why I was ignoring them, let me refresh it. Oh yeah, good God. Why don't we have a Hydro Shielder? Yep. It hadn't updated for the last 10 minutes. Good job, YouTube. I'm glad this problem is back. Oh my God. Yeah, no Hydro Claymore or Shielder. Who knows why? It'll probably exist eventually, but anywho's. Is Plunge Arlecchino viable, or does a normal attack spam out DPS? No. So like, the problem with Plunge Arlecchino is, I mean, like it functions, to be clear, but it's like just worse than doing anyone else plunge DPS. I don't want. Never mind. I don't want to change your whole build. I was gonna go and change your build to show it, but I don't want to like you can do MH, right? You can do Cloud Retainer, MH. Yeah. So you do. I don't know. It's really like do Farina, Cloud Retainer, Arlecchino, and probably Bennett, right? And you Swirl Pyro. You have Farina for the vaping, and you do some plunges. You'll get some big numbers because of the nature of her buff, but like, also, what if you just equip the same artifacts you would put on Arlecchino onto Bennett instead, and then now you have a flex slot for another off-field DPS, or support that buffs Bennett, right?
Adventure time.
So, you know, and then you don't have to deal with like the fragility weirdness with Arlecchino. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a waste of a kit. Like, don't let me stop you if you want to try plunge, but I would not pull Cloud Retainer for Arlecchino if you don't have Cloud Retainer kind of thing. So, anywho's. Yeah, Lynette C6 video should be out soon. Alright, I think that's all the meaningful messages I missed in YouTube not updating the chat. Alright, thanks for oh my God. My mouth. My brain. Thanks for coming and joining the stream. Hopefully should have, so might not stream on Saturday, like this weekend at all either actually, because Mother's Day is Sunday, and Saturday is my, you know, hanging out with friends day, so there might be a stream Saturday, but if there is, it'll probably be shorter than I normally do. So yeah, because of Mother's, although I would stream on Sunday if it weren't for Mother's Day, but anywho's. That's all I got, I think. Thanks for joining. Should have some videos this weekend at least, so maybe no streams this weekend, but we'll have some videos. Assuming I can edit my crap tomorrow. I also have to record it, but you know, I've got them planned. It shouldn't be that hard. Maybe. But there's only one video. I got distracted. Bye.